Today in London, tensions continue to increase between the metahumans called X's and normals. Communities fear the X's powers, citing multiple violent incidents and an underlying fear that the X's will take over society. Retribution and reprisals are on the rise. Today in London, tensions continue to increase between the metahumans called X's and normals. Communities fear the X's powers, citing multiple violent incidents and an underlying fear that the X's will take over society. Retribution and reprisals are on the rise, and violent clashes occur with growing frequency. This is Gene X, a Happy Jacks RPG podcast actual play in Cortex Prime.
Hello, and welcome to Happy Jacks RPG podcast One Shot Saturday. Woo! And this is Gene X Retribution, a modern-day Supers game in Cortex Prime, and this is an offshoot game from our Wednesday actual play called Gene X. And the things that happen in this game are going to tie into the things that happen in that game. So anything that you guys do will affect them. Right? And we have some players. I'm going to start over here.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Nick. Never played this game before. Don't know this world. Gonna have a great time.
It's gonna be amazing. Hi, I'm Pooja. I have also never played this game before and don't know this world. And I'm only slightly evilly excited about the implications it will have on another game.
Hey guys, this is Joey, and I haven't played this game, but I do listen to the podcast. I'm so excited to fuck shit up.
Hi, I'm Kimmy. I'm in the other game. Please don't kill me, guys. Yeah.
Cool. And so before we talk about the game, let's talk about the game system itself for a minute. Cortex Prime is a brand new version of the Cortex game system, which has led to games like Firefly and Leverage, Marvel Heroic Role Playing, it is a dice pool game. You will assemble a dice pool based on what you want to do and how you want to approach it. Okay, we'll go into detail about how that works as we get into it. You need polyhedrals. You need 4s, 6s, 8s, 10s, and 12s. You may need as many as 5 of them.
Cool.
A wild Zack appears. Don't worry about what you can do. Worry about what you want to do. Because whatever you want to do, we'll find a way. We will find a way.
Life finds a way.
Cortex finds the way. And what you'll do is you'll say, I want to do this thing this way, and I want to approach it from this standpoint, and we'll put together a dice pool. And when you roll the dice, you're going to be looking for 3 dice. The 2 that make the highest total, when added together, make the highest total number. And then of the ones that you don't use for that, the one with the most number of sides on it. Okay? That is called your effect die. The other 2 are your success dice. And there are one of 2 ways this can work. I will either give you a static number that you're trying to beat. Usually if you're not trying to impact another person or thing, will be a static number. if you are trying to, for example, attack somebody, then you're going to be rolling against them. Attacker rolls first. On ties, if the success dice are the same, but whoever has the highest effect dice wins. And if everything is even, then the defender wins. Okay?
Cool.
And like I said, we will go into detail about how to do that as we get into it. That's the entire game system right there.
Okay.
No?
If you, the way you take harm in this game is I will give you conditions. They're listed across the bottom. If you run out of places to take conditions, and all of your conditions are at D12s, you are taken out of the scene. You cannot
like
die in this game unless you decide to.
Like
Okay.
a PBTA kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You cannot die. Now, there are Cortex games in which you could totally die. But in this game, because it's a supers game based on the idea of a comic book, you can't die unless you decide to. Okay?
You guys can't kill me. It's all good.
Yeah.
Something else that you need to know, you are not the good guys here. The characters that you have in front of you are actually specific bad guys from the Wednesday game. And because in
We're not the bad guys. We're right.
I agree. I'm
Gonna say.
understand.
No, of course.
Right.
In 2018, 2019, Britain, because we're set in the UK, tensions are on the rise between people who are called X's, who have what is referred to as the X factor in their genetic structure, which gives them special abilities, and normals. Normals tend to be afraid of X's in a large degree, and that may or may not be accurate, but there have been reprisals, there is increasing tension, there's even been violence, and things are getting worse. There is movement to create a mandated X registry, where that would mandate that all X's register, much like one would register, alien persons or sex offenders. You guys are probably against that.
Just a little bit.
Probably not down for that. And then on the far other side of the scale, there are people who refer to people with special abilities not as X's, but as Homo superior.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Sounds about right to me. I get it. And each of you has picked a character. So why don't we start over here with Nick and tell us a little bit about your character, about who you were going to be.
Sure. Today I'll be playing Banshee. Banshee is an ethereal creature who could easily be mistaken for a ghost or a spirit, and is completely intangible, unable to affect the physical world, and that has driven him slightly insane and angry at everyone else.
Cool.
I have picked Direwolf. Direwolf is a monster of legend who has been told all their life that they are a monster and that they do not deserve to live. Enormous and hulking, but with the fluid grace of wolves, Direwolf appears very much at first like a werewolf from Gothic literature. Direwolf has no human form. Direwolf has been mistreated and tormented their whole life, sometimes used as an enforcer or even an assassin. She is cunning, but not particularly intelligent, with superior tracking abilities, along with their fighting ability and healing factor, which makes Direwolf a fell opponent.
Cool. And when I wrote the characters, I kind of have an image in mind, but the image that actually is at play is however you imagine it. So gender is fluid. However you see the character being, whatever you want to do is totally cool by me.
Cool. I am playing Morgan Le Fay. Morgan is a descendant of the historical figure of Morgan Le Fay, or so the family legend says. Morgan carries this a step further and believes that he is the reincarnation of the ancient sorceress, and believes that they are the rightful rulers of Britain and intend to bring about a new Camelot with Homo Superior as the ruling race of gods and goddesses. Completely out of character for me, I know that.
Yeah. I'm glad you're playing off type.
I
Joey.
know. JiB almost just literally just handed the character sheet.
He's like, okay. All right, and I am playing Succubus. Succubus is a shape changer who can appear however they want at any time. Even they do not remember what their first true form is, though they have a single distinctive tattoo that always remains regardless of what form they take.
Cool. And so let's talk about the mechanics. There are 3 main sections, and they are your attributes, and those are mental, physical, and social. And anything you want to do is going to be done with one of those 3 things. Okay? So if you are doing a thing that requires mental ability, and you're approaching it from a mental standpoint, you use your mental die. And then you have your affiliations, and affiliations are how who else you're doing this with. If you're doing this on your own, you're solo. If you're doing this with one teammate, you are doing this with a buddy. And if you are doing this with with more than that, you're working as a team. I will tell you that by design, these characters are not all that good at working as a team.
Villains? I'm shocked.
We're going to work as a team?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Villains is such a labeling.
The good guys are not that great at working as a team either. I'm just going to
tell you that for sure. And then you have values, and there are 6 values. Duty, which is, again, define this however makes sense to you. It's just, glory, justice, love, truth, and power. And we have at least one person in our regular Wednesday game who really likes power a lot. I'm looking at you, Fiza.
Yeah.
So you're always going to roll one of the dice from each of these 3 groups for anything you're going to want to do. At a bare minimum, that's what you're going to do. You also have powers. Mm-hmm. And your powers vary, and they range at a rating. It's out to the right side of your power, from a D10 down to a D6. And so, for example, I'm going to use Banshee as my example here. If Banshee was going to use his whale power, which is kind of a sonic blast sort of thing, he'd roll a D10 for that. Just tell me how you're doing it. Tell me what you're doing and how you're doing it. You also have a relationship to each of the other 3 people. Not always a pleasant one, not always a good one, but you do. And if what you're doing is going to lean on that, you can spend a plot point, which I'm going to give you in just a minute, and say, well, I'm going to... I'm working with Direwolf in this moment, and I understand Direwolf's nature, so I'm gonna do that thing, and you get an extra die for that. You also have distinctions. Distinctions are things that are distinctive and unique about you, and again, you weave it into the narrative of how you're doing the thing that you're doing, and spend a plot point, and you get to add a die to your pool. There are a bunch of other things you can use plot points for. We're going to talk about those in just one second. And then you also have an asset. An asset is or actually not everybody does, because Direwolf does not have an asset. Direwolf has no pockets or anything. But you know what? If you can come up with something...
overrated.
If you want to come up with something that you want to have, that Direwolf has somehow and keeps it on his possession, that you want to have, we will make that happen.
Could fur insulate them from things like an electric shock? I'm not trying to kill you, Mike. I'm sorry.
It does seem like, there's insulating powers with it.
You know what? I'm okay with it. Right?
I really hope Mike doesn't watch the show.
Again, you have insulating. So you have insulating fur. I dig it. And you can spend a plot point to use that asset.
Does fur do that? Does fur insulate against electrical
Not really,
things?
but
Oh,
you know
it
what?
doesn't.
This is a superhero comic book. I'm there.
It's
I'm
Real
there.
world?
It's Direwolf. It's Direwolf
Yeah.
fur.
Comic fur? Absolutely.
Comic fur absolutely does that. So each of you gets a plot point.
Hooray!
You get more plot points by if you activate a complication that you have. You say, this complication is working against me. What will happen is I will add a die of that type to my dice pool.
Okay.
And you will get a plot point.
Cool.
That's the way that works. Also, if you can downgrade a die. So let's say that you build your dice pool and you have a D10 in something, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to downgrade that D10 to a D8. You get a plot point for that every time. If you roll a 1 on a dice, that is called a spoiler die. And I will buy spoiler dice from you for a plot point. That seems to happen a lot in our Wednesday games.
Yeah.
Some people end up with stacks and stacks of them.
Don't know what you're talking about. I have no concept.
Also, if you do something particularly interesting or fun from a role-play standpoint, I will give you plot points. I will throw plot points down on the table all day long because you're going to turn around and spend them to do things.
Yeah.
You can spend them to add more dice to your pool. If you say you build a pool and you have 3 dice, you say, no, I want to add another die to it, spend a plot point, add a d6 to it.
You forgot a very important piece. When you buy a dice, where does it go?
When I buy a spoiler from you, it goes into the Doom pool, and all the red dice in front of me are Doom dice. And then I will use those to add to my pool when I'm doing things against you.
Yeah. Like hugging. Like just only good things. Only.
Right.
Doom pool is only for good
Doom is good.
Doom is good.
Doom is obviously a great guy.
He's good, right?
And he doesn't do bad things, he just makes it more interesting.
Yeah,
Of course.
That's exactly
Just
how
like
it
more
works.
interesting.
It's really just the spice of life.
That's right.
Doom is the spice of life.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh my
how boring
God.
would life be without Doom?
I know, right? If you roll, let's say, 6 dice in your pool, and you get your 2 result dice, and you want to add another die to that, spend a plot point. You can add another die to that, to the result. And you can do that as many times as you
Have plot
have
points?
plot points to spend. So if you wanted, unless you run out of dice in your pool, and then you can add more dice to your pool, I guess.
Then you would have to add dice.
You
and
can
spend the dice.
add a distinction die, a relationship die, or an asset die to your pool.
Cool.
You can also create a D6 asset, which is just I'm grabbing a piece of rebar to smack somebody. I have a D6 piece of rebar now. Spend a plot point. You have a D6 piece of rebar.
Cool.
Ta-da. You can then share that asset with another person. I'm going to hand, Succubus my D6 piece of rebar to smack somebody with. Spend a plot point. You can do that. You can, if you have all of your complication slots filled and are about to take another complication, which would take you out of the scene, you can spend a plot point to say, nope, I'm not. I'm still in this. You can do that. If you get 5 or more over what you need to succeed at something, so let's say I give you an 11 as a target number, and you get a 16. You can then take whatever I rolled in my dice pool, whatever my highest die type is, you get one of those to add as a hero die, which you just take that die and set it aside, and then you can spend a plot point to add that dice to your pool.
JiB will remind us of all of this.
And I will remind you of all of this.
I've played
when
it a bunch of
comes up.
times and I'm still not remembering everything he says.
You can spend a plot point to create a relationship with someone. It does not have to be one of the other 3-player characters. It can be someone outside. You create this person, and then you can spend another plot point to make them sticky so that they stay with you. They remain as a permanent relationship. Otherwise, they disappear at the end of the session. You can also spend a plot point to interfere in a contest. So if, say, Morgan and I are in the middle of a contest, we're about to we're putting dice down on the table, and you said, no, I'm going to pounce on the person who's about to attack Morgan and deal with them first. Spend a plot point. You interfere and you interrupt what's going on. Make sense?
Yeah.
We will talk about this more as we go. Those are just the basics of how you use plot points. We talked about how you roll dice. We talked about plot points. That's the entire mechanics for this game. That's all of it. The whole thing. Okay. we are, like I said, in Britain in the middle of 2018. Things are getting increasingly tense because there are people who really want. I mean, there are people who would like to hunt X's down and kill them. Let's just be candid. There are people who would like to do that. And there are.
X's should be more surprising to me than it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're talking about humans. There are also X's who are running around committing crimes and hurting people. That's happening too. That probably didn't matter to you guys so much. Maybe not. What I'm curious about, though, is what are you guys doing? What are you guys up to? What's going on with you guys? What are you guys after right now?
Well, I don't like normals, but I like playing with normals to get things I like.
So what are you doing today? There, Succubus.
There is a rich but disgraced lord who I like his nice things.
He has very nice things.
He has very nice things. So I
Aston Martin DB8.
Right. So I pretend to be a girl named Shelley, and I am his mistress sometimes. And I also take a bunch of his stuff when he doesn't know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So let's get some dice down.
Okay.
So you are. What are you trying to accomplish right now?
Rich.
So you want to.
Make it simple.
I get that. I dig that. And how are you trying to get him to either give you money or give you access to his money?
Look at my character sheet for a moment. I feel like this has been happening for a while, so I probably already have access to his money.
I think you've been cooking up this relationship for a bit.
some time.
Right.
Yeah. And he's definitely not the only one, but he's the only one that's like in the peerage.
Is he married?
So it's kind of... he was. His wife died unexpectedly. It was very sad. Heartbreaking.
Everyone was so torn up about it.
Really. Yeah.
Such a tragic accident.
Children?
Exactly.
Children?
No children.
Okay.
He's older, though, like...
So maybe he has grown children who are away?
Yeah, who are away. They probably really dislike me if they know about me at all, but who cares?
Sure.
So let's see. So I will do physical.
Right.
I will do solo, so it's a D10. And I'm after power, which is money. And I will add in my distinction sex as a weapon, which is also a D10.
Okay. You're going to spend a plot point?
Yes.
Okay.
And my power is shape-shifting that I'll use. So that's a D10 too.
Yep.
I'll use this one.
Oh, those are two tens.
Yep. Ooh. 2 10s with a D10 effect.
Wow. Because he has a 7. He has a 7 to resist your charms. There.
He fails.
There, Shelley. He supremely fails because you got, 13 over what you needed to...
I'm a sexy mofo.
Mm-hmm. You are. Yeah. So, yeah.
Hair flip, yes.
I think that, first off, you get a D10 hero die.
Cool.
Add. Set aside.
Cool.
And you have access to all the monies. And I think he's named you a director on the board in the company because, he trusts you so completely.
Yeah.
And, he is so in love with you.
Yeah. And I think I use this money for myself, to lavish myself with expensive things, but also to fund the X rights groups that I'm part of, which includes my friends and all their nice things they have now.
And
Thanks
there's
to
a particular group of pro-X activists that are called AX, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Some really smart person came up with that name, right?
The question is, how much body spray do they wear?
That is the thing.
But their goals are very much aligned with yours. They're a little. They probably need to step things up a bit, but maybe with some guidance and some.
Yeah, I probably give some money to them, but I feel like I'm more radical than they are. So I feel
because they're trying to status quo kind of thing.
Yeah, they're doing sign protests, equality. Yeah, that's bullshit. We're not equal. We are so much better than the normals.
Sweet.
So I feel like I have another whole side project that's
cool. Dig it.
They don't have a website for sure, though. Just saying.
Dig it. Not something Simon's going to find on the dark web.
This is fun.
Fucking with Simon from two angles. War on two fronts.
Trying to kill him and also rip his heart out. Which one's which? It's very difficult to decide. Okay.
It's really just two sides of the same coin.
Right.
So, what's Direwolf up to tonight?
Well,
What does Direwolf want?
Well, Direwolf feels a need to teach the normals what real hunting is like.
Sweet.
So Direwolf has decided to they've heard of there's going to be some activity tonight. Someone's coming after the X's, and it's time to hunt the hunters.
Cool. There's an anti-X group. Actually, there are many, but there's one that has started hunting down X's, and there have been beatings, and there aren't many fatalities yet.
See, they just don't understand how to do it right.
I get it.
Maybe if we show them the way the world needs to work,
right?
They'll understand.
So let's put some dice down and see if you can find them.
Okay, so I am going to go with tracking. So that is a D8. And so I can add two things, or
you get one from each of the three groups in the top left.
Okay.
Attributes, affiliations, and skills, or values. And then you can use a power, which is your tracking that you just picked. If you want to use a distinction or a relationship or your asset, that would be you spend a plot point for that.
Okay, so I'm going to go solo. I'm tracking them mainly by physical means, scent,
I like physical
things like that. So, and
Direwolf's a fairly physical.
Yeah. And I'm doing this for glory.
Sweet. Excellent. You need an 11.
Got it.
I got an 11.
Sweet. And then you have a D12 effect.
I do.
Ooh. Ooh. That's hefty. So yes, you have no problems. I think that you've probably been doing the stalk for these guys for a while, and getting picking up their scent and learning their patterns and how they move and whatnot. And
it's important to understand your prey.
It is.
Even when they're so simple-minded.
Even rabbits. But yeah, there's a group of 4 of them, and they think they're big, bad, and tough. They've got baseball bats and whatnot, and they're out on the prowl hunting for an X to beat up. And there's a as you are kind of watching them, they spy a young woman, probably early 20s, who is not everybody is visibly an X. Like, you are obviously visibly, it would be hard for anyone to not know that.
I wear my superior status proudly.
Okay. But she is obviously trying to hide hers, but can't really, because things that the normals would term a deformity, like she has like 3-fingered hands. She has 2 fingers and a thumb, and kind of pointed ears. So, but she's got a hood pulled up, but you can tell. And they spot her, and they immediately start harassing her. And I think that she's going to then, see this escalating and see this is not going to go well, and she's going to turn and run. And so she bolts, and they start chasing her.
Well, I am going to bound forward and hamstring the tail, like the so if you have 4 people, so say like these 2 guys, you've got her, these 2 guys, and there's like one guy who may be a little like, maybe he should smoke a little less. Like
Smoking.
The weak one in the herd. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to hamstring him to take him.
The guy in the back.
Oh.
Okay.
Sweet. Sweet. I dig it. Okay, let's make a dice pool for that.
Okay, so that's physical, so that is a
Am I-
D12.
Hey, let me. You can keep going.
Okay. And then I am solo D6.
Oh, there's one down here.
And then I am... This one is for power.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Because anytime you hamstring someone, really.
Right.
And it'll be claws and fangs.
You're not
Okay.
hamstringing them for love?
Sometimes.
Hey, let's not keep
But it
shame.
depends. I know. I mean, your mating
That's true.
rituals and
Whatever
my
you're
mating
into, whatever you're
rituals
into.
might be slightly different.
What do you got? Pick the
So
Two
I
that are
picked
gonna
my
give you the
2
highest value.
So that's 17.
okay, and then you have looks like
And
a
then
D12
I
effect.
have a D12 effect.
Sweet, because he has a 15.
Ooh.
No, wait, he has a 16 as well,
Oh.
but he only has a D8 effect.
I had a 17.
He's 17.
You have a 17, right? So he has a 17 with a D12 effect. Ouch.
Yeah.
Um,
That ham is strong.
That ham is strong. He screams as you rip out the back of his right knee. Snapping tendons and just, and he goes down in a howl of agony.
Howl.
Well, as much as humans can ever manage. The other 3 skid to a stop, turning around when he screams. And what do they see when they turn around? Because that's the panel that we have in our comic book of them stopping and turning around. And then what do they see?
And they see their comrade splayed out in front of a hulking, beautiful specimen of wolf power.
Nice.
Reared up on their hind legs, blood and tendon dripping from one of their claws, showing them what a real howl is.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
That was
good. It's so
I
good.
like it. That was pretty.
Plot points.
I think that's pretty terrifying for them. I think they are, but the guy who's the alpha of their little pack, puny as he is, is going to try to rally them to attack you, even though his two friends are really
May have already pissed themselves a
may
little.
have already wet themselves horrifically.
Ooh.
Oh no. I can't see.
That's a terrible roll, Jim. Why don't you roll like that on Wednesdays?
Oh my gosh, that's so.
Because obviously
A
we're
1, a 2,
superior.
a 4.
So the other two are going to, having wet themselves, are going to bolt. He's going to try to stay, though, but he's going to see his friends, and he's going to back away. Because he recognizes true strength when he sees it. So what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, that's obviously will be the most satisfying. Is to humble, like, you defeat another pack by taking out their leader, their alpha, if you will. So I'm going to seize this opportunity and pounce him.
Nice.
Okay.
And worry at his throat.
Sweet. Okay. Make that happen.
Okay, so physical and solo, and this is another power roll, and claws and fangs. So I got a 12, so 16 with a D10 effect.
He did not.
He does not. He has an 11, which you have 5 over what you needed. So you get a D10 hero die to set aside for your use later. What does that look like when you rip his throat out?
So I kind of rear back on my hind legs, put my front paws into the ground, claw just slightly to, like, get that, like, nails on chalkboard, or I guess nails on asphalt in this case, screeching
Actually, it'd be
noise.
cobbles or bricks.
Nails on cobbles, screeching noise. And as he backs away, I wait until, like, one leg is back and leap. So the momentum takes him even further back, like 6 feet, and he lands hard on his back, and I let his head bounce off the cobbles. And as his throat is exposed, go in with my sharp teeth and claw out half of his throat, while my front claw rakes down his side.
Oh.
Grizzly, I like it. And I think the panel we have has, Direwolf standing there with, like, both claws braced on something and holding him up by the neck in your jaws.
Yes.
But he's totally limp because he's
He's dead now.
Like silhouetted against the moon.
And then so that happens.
Awesome.
I think while you're dealing with him, I think the other two are going to get away. You could hunt them down if you wanted to, but you killed the
You could, but, like...
You already killed 2.
Yeah,
Well, you killed 1. The other one's alive, but not, but
not for
ruined.
long.
We'll never hunt again.
Ruined.
And what? Without hunting, is there really life?
Sure.
I like it.
And I feel like the other two were sufficiently lessened for tonight.
Sure.
And I have their scent.
Ooh,
Sure.
good point.
Okay. Awesome. I like it. So, what's Banshee up to? What's going on with Banshee tonight?
Banshee has discovered from the works of Alberto Magnus, the famed alchemist. In one of his books, he talks about, in one of his book, De Mineralibus, and I apologize for horrible butchery of Latin words, but
That's okay. We have an
theme in this
ongoing
game,
apology
yeah.
to all of our British listeners
Everything.
for everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
one of the crystals listed in there is the De Mutation Lacrimam, which is also known as the Tear of Change. It's a sapphire that is renowned to have powers to transmute things from one side to the other, and is conveniently on display here in London.
Yeah. Sure, yeah, it is.
In London, and Banshee believes that might be able to allow him to react with the physical world again and sort of end this curse of intangibility. And so has tracked down where it is being displayed in London in a museum.
Yep.
And is trying to figure out how to extract the gem that they can't touch, and see if it can be used in order to be able to assist their change. So I think as we set this scene, Banshee has just drifted through all of the security measures. There's like literally nothing that can stop me from getting in. But once there, my hand just passes ghostly through the glass.
Let's get to that in just a second, because it's in the Natural History Museum in London, off of the Kensington Tube Station. Looked it up.
Of course.
Google is the best.
I know. That's what I was doing.
Definitely not doing that right now. I know what you're talking about.
Joey's like, oh, the bar just got raised. God damn
it. Yes, it is on display with other treasures from India. Because, why wouldn't you?
Right.
I mean, gotta capitalize on that colonial background.
Right,
Yeah.
Colonial
British,
cultural
gotta
appropriation.
steal all that stuff.
And, just outright thievery.
Yes.
It is after hours, but, what's a security system to you?
Right.
So
I feel like
I think where we first see this is Banshee outside the Museum of Natural History, the Natural History Museum, and what are you going to do from there?
take a circuit and just make sure that there's nothing that can stop me. Because obviously this is a world in which X's exist, and so presumably security measures to stop X's are also in place.
They're
extreme security measures
in places that are extremely high security. You would be starting to see security measures that might give you problems.
Okay.
At a place like the Natural History Museum, though, it's unlikely because they're more interested in keeping out physical burglars.
Sure. Okay.
So the kinds of things that might even be a concern for, for Succubus or Direwolf or you're not tangible.
Right.
They can't touch you.
So I think that like at one point drifting through, there's like the laser grid.
Yeah.
And we see in the movies, you see the mist. Right. You can see the lasers as I pass through them, just like crisscross, but it doesn't set anything off.
And I think we have a panel where, like in the monitoring station, there's like a blip, just like the tiniest little blip, on the readout as you pass through it. Because it's the tiniest little, like disruption of the beam.
Right, but not enough to trigger an alarm.
But not enough to trigger an alarm or anything like that.
Right. Okay. So I can't reach it. It's there. It's within my grasp.
It's right there.
But I can't affect it in any way.
I think at that particular moment, a guard comes around, or actually two guards come around the corner. And because you're trying so hard to affect the material world, it kind of coalesces your essence together, and you become visible.
Sure.
And they can see you.
All right. I call out to the guards. You come to me. Come. And I'm going to use my lure power.
Them. Sweet. I like it. Okay, let's put some dice together.
Great. So I think this is probably social and solo. And the reason I'm doing this is for justice, because I feel that it's not fair that I can't interact with this world.
Sure.
And the world is basically mocking me, and so I want to...
Yeah.
My motivation is that I want them to I want this to be able to interact the way I should be able to with the world as needed. And then lure. Uh, 16 with a D8 effect die.
Okay. Well, they have a 14.
Okay.
So they, just being, normal, everyday humans, are going to come, maybe not even realize that they're doing it, but they're going to walk straight to you.
Okay.
And they have kind of a, slack, relaxed look to their faces, and they're not reaching for, walkie-talkies or, batons or anything like that.
Right. Or, hey, what are you?
Right. They're just doing what you told them to do, which is come to you.
Okay. Then I want to use. No, you know what? I'm just going to take this. Take it. And I'm going to point to the gem.
Okay.
And try and get one of them to smash it.
Okay. I think we're going to have to put some dice down again.
Okay.
Because you're telling them to do something that is antithetical to what they know they're supposed to do. They somewhere in their being they know they're not supposed to do that.
Right.
So we're going to do that again.
Okay.
We haven't had anybody roll a 1 yet, have we? God.
Well, I think you did earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I did.
Yes.
That's okay.
I'm sure that won't come back to haunt me later.
Yeah, still that in
My
a. Are we?
gate is
Is this still a lure?
I live.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
19, also with an 8 effect.
How do you know that, JiB?
I got a 12. I got a rock. Yeah, they have a 12. So you have more than 5 over what you need, and so you get a D10 hero die.
Okay.
So take a D10 and just set it aside
Okay.
for your use later. And again, you can spend a plot point to throw that die in your pool whenever you like. Admittedly, you've all been dealing with normals so far.
Sure.
So it's not like you've been dealing with other X's, and there are other X's who are trying to defend and protect the normals.
Misguided fools.
I'm confused. I mean, it's so obvious what the power hierarchy is here.
It's fine. Everyone needs a pet.
So yeah, he's going to take out his baton. He's going to smash the glass, which is going to set off the alarms
course.
all over the place. And he's going to pick up the gem and offer it to you.
My hand reaches out and just because I forget and just passes through. Come, and then I just start going out through the museum and forcing him to follow me.
Okay.
I'm going to head right towards the big picture window.
Sure.
Which is where this is being displayed.
Sure.
And shatter it with a whale for this security guard to escape.
Okay. I was just trying to decide how long it was going to take them to get there.
Sure.
Okay. I think what will happen is that you will go over and shatter the glass. It's just normal glass. It's like tempered outside,
right.
Glass, but it's nothing to you. So, but you can blast that out. The shards of glass go flying out into the street, and because you've already lured them twice with wild success, they're going to go with you, and they're going to go with you, and the guards will get there just as you guys jump out the window and head off down the street, and they're not really going to pursue you because they don't have any authority outside the bounds of the museum itself, but they have called the police.
Right, they've called it all in.
They've called it all in. And
probably given the information about the other two, the 2 guards.
Right. And the way this is going to read to them is that something caused these 2 guards to go nuts and steal this valuable gem. And so they don't know what that's about yet, but that's kind of where they are.
Great.
And for your benefit and for your guys' benefit, you guys who play with me regularly know, if you and I are in agreement about what's happening and what the results of something are, we do not roll dice.
Okay.
We only roll dice when you and I disagree about what could happen. Okay?
Perfect.
So yeah, you got away with your gem.
Okay.
Took it back to wherever you lair, and these guys are now standing around. This won't last forever.
No,
They'll
I
wake
think
up.
what once I get them to deposit in my lair, I'm going to lure them over a bridge and then have them jump.
Jumping off London Bridge into the Thames.
Yep.
Done. Yeah, I think that just happened.
Okay.
I mean, I could see having us roll some dice for that because it is antithetical to
Right. Most people have a survival
have a
instinct.
survival instinct that
against.
would prevent that. I think I think the panel shows them trying to resist, but they can't. But ultimately, they can't resist the compulsion, and
Right.
off they go.
Yeah, the way I see the panel is they're on there, they're trembling, and they're not quite jumping, and I just sort of, phase out past them, so I'm floating, and I once again call for them to come to me, and so they're not even thinking about the fact that they can't get there, they're just, yes,
I dig
and
it.
then down.
I dig it. Dig it. Sploosh.
And, we'll find out
Yeah.
if they remember what happens.
Or if they even survive.
Right.
We will find out. So,
Yep.
what's Morgan up to tonight?
Morgan is attending an opera. He heard at the social club that there was a member of parliament attending this opera who was on the fence about moving forward with this registration act. And Morgan wants to ensure that he votes correctly.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, in the news recently, leading up to that, a prominent anti-X vocal, activist, Bishop Alfred Bowman, has been preaching a great deal about, the anti-X registry or about the X registry and lobbying for beefing up the what's been called Department X, which is the secret government department, to monitor and control X's. They don't say that in the news because it would be, unfashionable.
Right.
But
Completely against everything listed in the Magna Carta.
Yeah. But you know what they're really about,
course.
right? Of course you do.
You hear things.
Of course you do. But so that was going on as well. This guy is at the opera, and the vote is tomorrow. So, what are you gonna do about that? Opera's going on.
I'm going to.
We're coming up on intermission, by the way.
Good.
It's it's the first act.
Good. I will just scan, make sure I can find where his box is. I'm assuming he's probably in a box as being... Right. Once I've located his box, I will excuse myself from my box and be sure to be ready to swoop in once intermission starts, just so I can have a conversation, the two of us.
Sure. The first act ends. So, lovely opera.
I figure Faust.
Sure, I like it. Works for me.
Thank you.
It's a good choice. It's a good call. And you are outside in the corridor as people start filtering out of their boxes, and he comes out of his box with that look of someone who's obviously looking for the loot.
Right. Oh, it's so good to see you. I didn't know you were going to be here tonight.
Oh, well, the theater, and
Right. Might I have a word?
Of course, I've always got time for the upper crust of society.
Fantastic. I couldn't help overhearing at the club that you have some rather big event happening tomorrow.
Oh, yes, quite right. But hush, can only talk about it.
No, of course. Although one does have to wonder, how are things looking in there?
Oh, well, given recent events, I think it likely that X's will soon be registered, and we'll be able to get a better handle on their activities.
See, that sounds just right troubling.
Well, you know, we have to maintain public safety.
Oh, of course, but can I buy you a drink?
Oh, well, of course, certainly, yes.
Fantastic.
Be charming.
I escort him to the bar.
Yeah.
I order him a whiskey.
Yeah.
Or a scotch. Make it a scotch. I'm so sorry.
Fine. It's fine.
I know. I'm so
Colin's
sorry, Colleen.
prejudices are showing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Protestants.
Oh, burn!
Ooh. What have you identified? Thinks he's back? You should be able to my back.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll need this for Simon later.
The real kicker is though he takes his with water.
That you? It's a thing.
No accounting for taste.
My husband loves it that way.
We'll
Fine,
talk.
keep going.
It actually depends on how it was bottled.
Yes.
If it's bottled at cask strength, you actually want to put a little bit of water in it.
Yeah.
Right, but most are not bottled at cask strength.
Most are not.
And especially not ones that you're getting at the opera at an orchestra.
No, that's
Right.
True. I'll
Right.
buy that.
Point.
Yeah. May I speak frankly?
Of course, of course. We are gentlemen here.
Of course. We can keep joking with ourselves and believing that we have any way of really controlling this problem. Or we can use it to our advantage.
How do you propose that we do that?
They're going to take over. Let's
No.
Sir, let's look at the facts. We've seen what they can do. Short of a nuclear option, which would just be mutually assured destruction, there's very little we can do to stop it from happening. However, aligning yourself with the right people can make sure that you are on top when the takeover happens.
Well, first of all, I think you're mistaken about how powerful they truly are, and we have means in effect and things going into effect very shortly that will ensure the safety of good people, of the good people of Britain.
I'm going to wait for him to take a drink,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm going to use my warp reality power to change the drink from scotch to petrol.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. I dig it. Let's put some dice down.
Okay, so that'll be a D12 for mental,
The new twist here.
Yeah.
D10 for
Taste
solo.
that different?
Whoa!
Wow.
If it's a Highland Scotch, yes. Anything else, we'll talk.
Well, you know, the Japanese have been putting out some really
Oh, so
They actually
good.
do.
So
the
good.
Hawaii is like
Yeah.
All right, I'll do a D10 for.
I'm going to have to introduce you to my favorite scotch one of these days.
I'm listening.
It's called Aberlour Abuneth, and it's absolutely my favorite scotch. I'll tell you the story when we get him after our game.
Okay, so I got a D12 for mental, D10 for solo. I'm going to go with D10 for power.
Okay.
And then the warp reality is a D8. Where are
Okay.
my D8s? Oh, those are D8s, not D10s. I can read numbers. They're D10, D10, and a D8.
We had Japanese
have
whiskey
to-
the other night. I was wondering where it went, but I think it's gone.
Tappy's been in the room. I think it's probably been drunk.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh, those are high numbers.
Those are good.
So I will take that 10 and that 9. That's a 19 with a D10.
Is that a 1 I see?
It
It
is.
is a 1. Thank you. And you get a D8.
Cool. Okay, well, you needed a 15.
Great.
So you transmute the scotch into petrol just as he's taking a drink, and it hits his throat, and he's like, and he's losing his
sir.
absolute mind with the bartender because the bartender obviously did this.
Right.
please.
No, you clearly have a drinking problem.
And he slams the glass down on the bar. He's livid with the bartender to the point where he's like pretty much forgotten about you at the moment. And his security detail is going to run up because they see a problem, and they're going to interpose, basically around him, and he's, like I said, he's losing his mind, with the bartender, and the bartender's going to get fired, and this, that, and the other thing.
I will turn it back.
Okay.
And
Nice.
smell it, and take a drink myself. It's not my favorite, but it's not that bad.
Okay. So, what are you trying to get to with this?
I'm trying to show him that we are more powerful than he can even realize,
Okay.
and that we already walk among you and are in all the social circles of London.
Okay.
So the invasion's basically over. We're already inside.
Okay.
So you can either fall in line and not be completely subjugated, or not and be destroyed.
Okay. I think he's going to look absolutely horrified when he realizes what's going on here. But his security detail is like basically dragging him away.
Okay.
Like not even back to the box for the rest of the opera. They're like to the nearest stairs, to the nearest exit, to into his car and gone.
Okay.
Unless you're going to try to do something to stop that.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to try to use my fog of war
Okay.
to basically. Actually, no, I'll use the illusion power to kind of obscure us from his detail, so we can hopefully have a moment and speak truly candidly.
Okay.
And basically, just lay it all out.
Okay. You're going to need a 15
Okay.
for this because they're pretty focused guys.
Because that would be amazing.
Let's see, so that's going to be D12 mental, D10 solo, and let's go D10 power again. Just hit that D10, there it is. And then I'm doing illusion, that's another D10. I have so many dice, there they are. That's not good.
That's another one that he bought.
Here, it's still not going to be enough. I needed a 15, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to be enough, even if I spend that to get a third die.
Okay.
Cool. So that went well.
That went well. So, I think what's going to happen is, you're going to like reach out with your power and try like warp things with, and create this illusion. And he very clearly sees that it's you that's doing this. His detail doesn't really see that it's you. They just see that, something suddenly like obscured him. And I think in the panel of that, we have his guards looking around in sudden panic as like a swirling black mist just kind of around him for a moment, and they're freaking out about that. They're not cool. They're not happy about that. They now have guns in hand, and he is going to point right at you. Say, "There's one right there," and they're going to open fire on you.
Oh, good.
Because, you are obviously an X who is attacking their principal.
Damn. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, for them, this is physical.
Okay.
They are acting as a team. They are following their duty. And they are using guns, which is their... So, how are you going to try to defend against that?
I am going to... Let's see. Can I use two powers in conjunction with each other?
That's an interesting question. Because that hadn't come up before.
Because my thought was to use my fog of war to obscure their vision of me,
Uh-huh.
and then while they're trying to find me, use illusion to basically myself disappear.
Sure.
And get the fuck out.
I think you could do that with Fog of War by itself.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I would have no problem with you doing that with Fog of War by itself.
Cool, I could do that.
Again, don't worry about what the character sheet says you can do.
Right.
Think about what you want to do, and then we'll figure out how to make the dice pool accommodate that.
Awesome.
If you want to add another dice, you can spend a plot point and add a d6.
I may do that. Actually, let's go ahead and do that since I'm rolling so well.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll do that, and then this is going to be... Oh. It feels weird using power again.
It's okay.
Alright, I'll use power again.
Just why are you doing it? Why, I mean,
What?
I know the why, but
Right.
let's tell us for the audience why you're doing this.
Well, I'm trying to get the fuck out. Self-preservation.
Self-preservation, power.
Right. Power, sweet.
Self. Power is all about self.
Okay. And then I'm using Fog of War, which is another d6. Okay. Another one. Wow.
Welcome to my world.
What is a d10?
It's d10.
I think I had one roll this entire campaign where I haven't rolled a one.
Oh, God.
Okay. I will buy that.
Uh-huh.
What have you got?
Let's see. I got 6, 10. I'm going to...
Do it this way. Do
Yeah,
10 this
that
way
way
with the
you
D12 effect.
Yeah.
There you go. So 10 with the d12 effect.
Okay. I have a 15 with a d8 effect.
Oh! Grand.
Okay, so there's your plot point
Thank you.
for the one. And you, sir, get a condition.
Hooray!
And
Bullets.
it's bullets, ouch. Okay? So this is a condition that is, because it's on you, is sticky, so it'll stay with you.
Okay.
And there is a mechanic for recovering from these. And we'll talk about that when you get ready to do that.
Okay.
Okay? Probably like after the scene.
Cool.
So that happened. Bullets, ouch.
Yeah. Don't like that.
Don't like bullets. No.
Never have.
Damn their technology. That kind of makes sense to me because from a mindset standpoint, I think Morgan is kind of has the medieval mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
Of magic and things like that. But even back then, swords, crossbows, bows, things like that. Not happy.
No. This is not
Those
good
were
news.
annoying even then.
Of course. All right. Cool.
These projectiles, man.
Right?
They just keep getting worse.
But why?
They have to because they don't have magic, so they have to come up with other
Fools.
ways to compensate.
I'm just saying,
If
at
they
least
just
you don't have
kowtowed,
myths.
it'd be fine.
At least you don't have myths about silver bullets being the only way to destroy you.
But at
Do
least-
you have any idea how hard it is to get tiny flakes of silver out of an open wound?
I'm pretty sure I'm about to find out what it's like to get regular bullets out of an open wound. All right, cool. So, still there, full of bullets. Whee! I am going...
Sorry, I just had an idea. I mean, I don't know if you're...
Oh, I'm open to ideas at this point.
Use your illusion to make all of them see their teammates as you.
Oh, that's always a good trick. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a very good trick.
I like that trick. Okay. We're going to do that. We're going to do that thing.
Okay.
And I need new dice, because these dice are...
You have failed
See,
him for the
that's
last
why
time.
you didn't roll well. You weren't using your rainbow.
I wasn't
dice,
using my
man.
rainbow dice. I know. I was saving them for a special occasion. For
I
hero
feel like
dice.
this is...
But this is now a thing. Okay, and we get another D10. I'm going to trust you again, you bastard. And another D10. And I am going to use a third D10 by using my distinction Legacy of Power.
Okay.
And I'm going to basically, at this point, go full sorcerer on it. My cover's basically blown at this point, so
Sure.
there's no point trying to do subtle magic.
Sure.
So I will spend that
Okay.
to add that third D10, which I think did I already put in? I did. Okay. I'm missing one. So I've got D12, D10 for solo, D10 for that. Oh, I need another D10 for my power. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, there's another one.
Yeah, but 11 and
But
9.
but you
I will
got
take those
20.
11 and 9s. I will take those. I will take the 11 and the 9. And so you get another one D10
Okay.
to the Doom pool.
You were
You're all welcome, everybody.
So 20 with a D10.
20 with the D10.
Sweet. Because they have an 11.
Fuck them. Right
so,
in here.
Add a D10 hero die.
Sweet.
Set it aside for your use later. I think that they are each suddenly abjectly convinced that the person right next to them is you, and they're going to open fire literally on each other. And so there's this hail of bullets all around him for a moment, and then they're going to drop. Yeah, they may not be dead because they may be wearing Kevlar.
Of course.
Because they're security detail and whatnot, but they're going to be down for right now. And
Crossfire hit him. He must be the luckiest MacGuffin politician.
He's Lord MacGuffin.
That explains it. Then never mind.
Lord MacGuffin. He now has a name.
Lord MacGuffin.
MacGuffin.
No, I like the idea that he does not get hit by any bullets, but he's just suddenly standing there, as his detail falls, and he's going to rab it. He's absolutely going to rab it.
Okay.
And he's going to run into the most populated place he can find right now. Which, you are welcome to pursue. Just be aware, it is the
populated area.
It is like the hall, the opera hall.
Okay. Yeah, let's pursue, and I'm going to use an illusion to disorient him into running back towards me.
Okay.
Basically having the hall kind of box itself off, so he thinks he's kind of cornered and has to run back towards me to get out.
Okay.
So we will do that thing. We will do the D10 and the D12 and the D10. That is a 16 with a D12.
Okay. And I am going to activate your bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. It doesn't come from there. That one. I'm bad about wanting to grab Doom dice to use them for regular dice. Okay. What do you got?
I have a 16 with a D12.
Okay. He has a 17 with a
Bastard.
D10.
Okay.
So
Can
right
I-
now you can spend a plot point to add another dice. How many dice did you roll?
I rolled 3, and I should have rolled another one. I should have rolled another D10.
So what you would need to do at this point, and really you're supposed to do the add the dice before, but I don't really have a problem with it. You need to spend 2 plot points, one to add a d6 to your pool, and then another one to add that to your result.
Okay. There we go.
Nice.
So that is a 21.
So that's 21. I'll take it. That's fine. So he sees himself boxed in. There's no way out. He's going to turn. He's going to turn around and run right back towards you. And I think we're going to give him the condition, or put the condition on him for this scene of disoriented.
Okay.
Now,
We are everywhere. You cannot escape us.
pretty much that's what he's thinking right now. And what was your effect?
My effect was...
A D10?
D12.
D12? Ouch. So he's really disoriented. And so that is a condition on him that you can use at the cost of a plot point.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet. I will approach, just grab him by the lapels of his
Sure.
suit, jacket.
Sure.
Tux, you are the opera.
I didn't want to assume. I don't know how gauche he is.
He's an informal.
Info, sweet. You try my patience, sir. You see that we are...
What do you want from me?
I want to make sure that bill dies in committee. It shall not see the light of day, or you shall see me and my kind again. Do you understand?
I understand. I understand. Of course.
It should not see the light of day, or neither will you.
Nice.
Damn, that was good. Damn you, Nick.
Damn it! I hate it when other people have better script writers than I do.
Joyce had plenty of amazing moments. It's all right. He'll get over it.
I'm missing the Savage fan. That's what I'm missing.
Excellent. Yeah. So no, he's cowed. He's going to do what you said.
Good. Enjoy the rest of the opera. I hear the ending is quite mesmerizing.
He's terrified. Probably just shy of wetting himself.
Oh, you're done now. You can go.
He goes.
And I am going to...
I think he's going to stop at the bar on his way, grab whatever glass is sitting there, and down it.
Nice.
Then not even look to see what it is. Just, take a glass from someone and down it.
Good. And I'm going to GTDFO.
Nice.
Because I'm full of bullets.
Okay.
Because bullets out.
Because bullets.
Just bullets. Ouch. So let's talk about how to deal with that. Because you get back to your hideout, flat, lair, whatever. And what you do is we're going to put together a dice pool, and you can only use attributes. For
Okay.
this. And then I'm going to put together a dice pool using the difficulty of it and the die type for the die type for the condition itself, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay. So how are you dealing with these bullets?
That's a great question. Of course, all my powers are mental. I'm going to actually spend a plot point. Oh, I can only use attributes. Never mind.
Right.
Damn.
Well, tell me what you want to do.
So my thought
what
was,
you're
since I
thinking
have
is.
the Book of Lefay, I was going to look and see if there were any healing spells that would have been passed down that I can use to cure myself of
An asset you can always use.
An asset I can always use. I will do
An
that.
asset you
I will
can
use that
always use.
asset.
Okay.
Okay, so I will use that D10 asset. And since I am using my powers, I'm going to say it's a mental. Okay. And I'm working on my own, all by myself. And let's go with that sweet power one more time.
Okay.
Oh no!
Wow.
I'd be no good,
Wow.
but oh no!
That is going to be a 15 with a D12, and you get another.
Beating the doom. Beat it.
Okay, so you have a 16?
I have a 15
A 15
with a D12.
with a D12 effect. Wow, you can just hand that back to me.
Oh, good.
You are through your, you find in the Book of Lefay exactly the spell that you need. And tell us about what it says in the book about that. What do you find? What is it you found? Because that
Right.
worked really well.
Oh, good. So the way the spell works is you take the pain and the affliction, and it's kind of a transference. So you take that pain and transfer it to another living thing. So my poor houseplant, which I actually really loved, is now wilted and dead because I took the pain and the afflictions that were affecting me and transferred it to this living thing
Okay.
and completely destroyed it.
Wow, that's cold and dark. That is cold
Super
and dark.
cool.
But very, very cool. I dig it. I like it. Okay, so that happened. you are able to heal your wounds, and I think we see like rents and holes and gashes appear in this poor plant, and it actually starts weeping blood out of them instead of like sap.
Yep. Absolutely.
Nice.
And then it kind of just shrivels up and like curls in on itself with an almost audible cry of pain.
Oh.
Does that work?
That works. I dig
Okay.
it.
But you feel fine.
Yeah. Never better.
Excellent. Okay.
Gotta get a new shirt.
Yeah. The price we pay.
Okay.
As you are getting healed up, getting yourself probably getting another drink, I think we see Morgan in the living space of his flat, townhouse. Big screen TV on, and there's a big thing in the news about a gem that was stolen from the Natural History Museum tonight. And
Subtle.
it was apparently stolen by a pair of guards. And one of the remaining guards reported seeing a misty, shadowy figure that they couldn't identify, but that was kind of discounted, officially. And then later, the two guards washed up dead on the banks of the Thames. Okay,
Cool.
so that happened. Also in the news was a murder in the East End. A pair of anti-X activists were severely mauled. One of them is dead. His throat ripped out. Actually, both of them were killed.
I feel like the other one was not going to survive that amount of blood loss.
Sure.
Yeah.
The other one died from a torn femoral artery. Blood everywhere, lots and lots of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Their two friends, who are interviewed by the news, report that they were attacked by a werewolf, which most people, attribute to an overabundance of drink,
Right.
but
And possibly meth.
But then there's also the horrific wounds on the two bodies, which look like maulings by some kind of ravening animal.
Can't imagine who that could have been. I'm not mad.
Not mad that you did it. I'm mad that you got caught.
Well, I didn't. It could have been a rabid dog. It wasn't.
It wasn't, but it could have been.
Not to mention, look at their teeth. They probably are on meth.
Probably are.
You, I think, are luxuriating in your palatial London flat.
Yes. It's definitely like a townhouse. Nice.
Servants,
All the things.
all the things. And you see this on the news as well. In addition, you see there was some kind of upheaval at the opera. The security detail for a member of parliament apparently went insane and shot each other and tried to kill their principal. Ended up killing each other in the fracas.
Whip out my cell phone.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to call my friend Morgan.
Oh.
What is your actual name?
That's a great question.
I'm not sure anyone knows.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
think
Oh, so we're that good of friends.
I mean, who
No,
just
I
gives
think
a
you
sorceress
probably
their
know
true name?
that you probably know that succubus goes by many names.
Okay.
It's entirely possible that succubus doesn't even remember her real name.
Got it.
You know, because that's the problem with living, you know, dual lives and living undercover and whatnot. Is that if you stack too many of them up, you tend to you start to forget which one's real.
I almost feel like you might have like a specific phrase that you start a phone call with when you call someone, so that they know, regardless of who the voice is.
Yeah.
Oh, this is succubus.
Yes.
Okay.
And since the call is coming from the phone that she only uses to call you guys,
Okay.
Yeah.
at least that's my impression.
Yeah, no, 100%. She's got a special phone that she uses for this, and it's a burner, and it gets switched around, but like everyone gets informed before it switches.
Sure.
I'll think about the name thing.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's all good.
No, I like it. It's got to be a thing now.
It does, totally does.
So, ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Are you having a good evening?
I was. The opera was dreadfully dull.
Oh, you're usually a bit more subtle, darling.
Well, one can't account for all circumstances.
Can't one?
If there were no failures, life would be boring. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree for now. The point is, he is on our side. At least it seems to be that way.
Well done.
Any word from the other two?
No, but by the looks of the news tonight, it seems they're having a very eventful evening as well. Was I the only one who stayed home and behaved?
Oh, come now. We have to have some fun, don't we?
I always have fun, darling.
I don't know. I saw your current beau. I don't imagine he's much fun at all.
But his money is very, very fun, and you haven't complained yet.
To be fair, he is paying a decent amount for us.
More than decent, dear.
Any news when he'll finally be gone and you move on to the next?
Soon, but he's so accommodating. I see him once a week, and he's paying for everything. It could be much worse.
I suppose.
Remember the last one? I had
Oh.
to see him every day.
I don't know how you stood it.
Money. Money. There wasn't a lot of standing involved either. Anyway, we should speak with the others and handle these situations before people start noticing.
Right, they are getting rather sloppy, aren't they?
Well, I mean, werewolf attacks, it's only going to take a matter of time before people start figuring that out.
Oh, come now. With the resurgence of Sherlock, surely they'll think it's the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeah, I don't even think normals are that stupid, dear.
You'd be surprised.
That's true.
So, I'll collect a Wolfie, and if you want to get Spooks.
Indeed, yes. We'll get it's canon now.
It is.
We should meet down at the warehouse.
Grand. I'll see you there in hopefully an hour if I can track her down.
Very well. If anyone can, you can. Doodles.
There's another news piece just as you're hanging up. It's kind of a tawdry little piece about a fire. Apparently, a building of flats was burned by arson, and all of the people inside, all the normals inside, were saved by a young Irish woman named Colleen, who I think you probably have heard about because she's an ex-activist, pro-ex-activist. But she's so inclined to help and protect people,
Right.
these normals.
It's a shame. Should've
Clearly she has
let them
some
all
ability.
burn. Yes. I can make a mental note of that. Click off the TV, annoyed that there are so many normals still alive tonight.
Okay.
And then
You're going to go,
Yep.
and you were going back to
My den.
your den.
Okay.
You know, clean up a little, enjoy the night. But you can't leave like a trail of bloody paw prints leading right back to where you live.
Oh no, I'm
That's some pup nonsense.
that's puppy nonsense right there. You know, stop by the butcher shop, steal a side of lamb to.
Oh no. This is England. They still hang rabbits outside to age. You don't even have to break into anything. It's like a drive-through.
Just pick up some takeout.
It really
I
is.
love it.
You get your takeaway and go back to the den and have a little snack. And
Cool. So, what do we see when Morgan comes into arrives at your den? What is your den like? Tell us that.
well, I have it's got a much more rustic look. Kind of an old country feel, darker tones, wood, exposed beams, a very large fireplace because warmth is important.
Yes.
And instead of like a normal bed, it's got kind of a collection of bedding and furs and basically like a giant kind of nest of coziness in front of the fire.
Sweet.
Or it's like obvious that Direwolf spends most of her time. That like that's the happy place. Other than that, it's not like it doesn't have a lot of like regular amenities that people would have because she doesn't have much use for that.
Sure.
So it's got a few like mementos of like important times in her life or important people.
Okay.
Like there are teeth from old family members as like relics that she keeps, and a few less identifiable pieces that might be mementos of notable triumphs.
Okay.
But those are like separate.
Sure. I'm kind of getting a vibe that Direwolf kind of doesn't really get and sort of disdains this whole, possessions thing that other people have.
I mean, Daryl just doesn't see any need for all of that. Like, she has no personal need for it, and possessions just tie you down to a location.
Sure.
And you need to be able to move with the pack to where the hunt is best, and you have your whole, like, your territory is wider than just this narrow confines that normal people have limited themselves to. So there's just just a very few things that like this kind of like more socialized side of her has kept. But in general, it's like the ability to pick up and go, and really like her whole territory is her possession, as opposed to like small material things.
I dig it. Do you have a door to your den?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that is a thing that people do, and it keeps the wind out.
That's fair.
I mean, not everything the Normals did was terrible.
So what does Morgan do when you arrive at Direwolf's door?
Question: what kind of smell is normally emanating from Direwolf's den? Is it?
It's the smell of the earth. It's not unpleasant. It's not decay.
Okay.
Direwolf isn't keeping like rotting corpses in the back of the
I'm
den.
kind of getting a muskiness of earth and wood smoke.
Yes.
Mix.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind
it's
of.
more of like a
I thought so.
I agree, Apple Watch.
Well timed, Apple Watch. Well timed.
Surprise, fifth player.
That's amazing.
yeah, it's definitely more of like a campfire, maybe a little bit of roasted meat,
Okay.
but it's nothing unpleasant, but definitely like earthy.
Okay. Morgan is going to take the handkerchief out of his pocket and clean off a bit of the door before he knocks. Because fuck that noise. And
Fastidious much?
touch.
I mean, when was the last time Direwolf ever cleaned your door?
This is what I'm saying. And then he'll rap on the door, waiting for a response.
I think that Morgan's scent, which is well known to you, heralded his arrival long before he knocked.
Yes. And I am ready for Morgan as the alpha of my pack. So the door opens.
Busy evening, no?
You've had one yourself. Looking for signs of the injury that I can still
Sniffing him, yeah.
I can still smell on you to make sure that you're all right.
Yeah, you definitely smell cordite and blood. His blood.
So, first things first, must make sure you are whole and hale.
Oh, stop mothering me. I'm fine. You
You are now.
dragging a finger across your fireplace. With the money that we are getting, you could have a man in.
I mean, I suppose I could get one of the youngins in the pack to do something, but what's the point? I won't be here tomorrow.
Comfort.
I have everything I need.
They're called creature comforts for a reason. We're meeting at the warehouse. I assume you're prepared.
I'm always prepared.
Leaving 2 witnesses. Was that intentional or sloppy?
Oh, very much intentional. You have to save some fun for later.
Yes, well now they're looking for you. Well, they're looking for a werewolf, but it won't take long.
This one smelled of acrid drug. And they'll be discredited soon enough.
I can always make sure of that, should we need it.
I mean, you could have them blame it on themselves. When was the last time we had a drug-induced hallucination killing, anyway?
What time is it?
I was going to say it's Thursday.
But it's fine. We'll sort them out if we need to. But I suppose having someone live to tell the tale will do nothing worse than get them to fear us more.
It's important. And I had to save one of the pups.
How is she?
She's skittered off. Lived to run another day.
They have to learn to be more careful. The war is coming. We'll need every man we have.
They need to learn to fight. Instead of hiding like cowards.
I couldn't agree with you more, but now is not the time. The time will come. We need to finish our infestation of their ranks first. So that when we take over, it'll be an easy transition.
Transition into what?
A
You're
new-
obviously better.
Yes.
To just wipe them out.
It's how long that will take. We are stronger, but there are more of them than us.
And they do propagate like rabbits.
Don't they?
Not half as tasty.
And their weapons are getting much more deadly. Like, come, let's go to the warehouse. We can sort this out then.
Fine. The other's coming as well.
Supposedly. I do wonder what spooks wanted that gem.
So let's talk about that. So what does Banshee's lair look like?
Banshee has an abandoned warehouse that's just off of one of the popular trendy areas.
Sure.
It has a reputation for being haunted, of course,
Right.
which is why it hasn't been developed and nobody tends to want to go there, but it's close enough to centers of population and city so that the longing that Banshee has for human contact can be as much as possible sort of vicariously gained by watching and trying to interact, occasionally luring someone down into an alley, and then perhaps perhaps a some sort of mysterious circumstance or death as the frustration of not actually being able to connect catches back up. So there's sort of this wanting. I can't have it, so I must destroy it. Sort of.
Would you be okay with this particular warehouse being in Whitechapel?
Absolutely, that's sort of what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because this particular warehouse has been in existence and stood here since like the latter half of the 19th century.
Yes.
And local rumor has it that it was somehow attributed to Jack the Ripper, and as such, nobody will rent it. Nobody will do anything with it.
Right. Like, I feel that in the 80s, there was probably some sort of a boom, and someone thought they would try to change it into, like, a tourist attraction.
Right.
But stuff kept happening, and people kept turning up in, dead or...
So, I have another question. Has
crazy.
Banshee been here since then?
Yeah. Let's go with that. Let's run with that. I was thinking Banshee has a very kind of ethereal, androgynous look, and so has sometimes been mistaken, or not maybe mistaken, maybe is, we don't know, but one of the spirits of the victims that haunts the area, or depending on how you perceive Banshee,
I think it's,
as a spectral attacker that's coming out.
I think it's fair to say that Banshee can't affect the tangible world, but has pretty good control over what she looks like.
Right.
How it appears.
Yes.
Makes sense? Okay. Cool.
I think that's probably part of the lure power in a lot of it, is appearing the way you want someone
sense.
to believe you look.
That makes sense to me. Cool. So, yeah. I think Banshee has managed to keep this place, people from messing with his place too awfully much.
Right.
I think it's also, as a side note, I think Banshee might know the truth behind the Jack the Ripper murders, but
perhaps,
but might never be willing to tell anyone what the truth is.
Yes, I like that.
Because keeping the mystique alive keeps people away.
Right. Yeah. Enables me to continue to have this space that is separate but also close, where I can interact with people.
I dig it.
So I think that it's not being able to affect anything and not being affected by cold or rain or anything like that. It's probably drafty and dusty.
It's suffered a bit from the elements.
Broken things here and there.
Yep.
There doesn't seem to be like an order or cleanliness to it at all. And only clean where it's been disturbed by people who've been lured in, moved things, or had things moved at them.
Right. I dig it. So, how do you get to Banshee's warehouse?
Well, I don't want to be seen, obviously, as myself, so I probably shape change into like a mousy, like librarian type.
Okay.
And I probably take the. It is.
You
No
take
one
the tube?
notices. Yeah, take the tube.
Okay.
As much as I dislike doing it, it's like 100% no one's ever going to notice.
Right.
So take the tube near there, and then I walk over. And it says on my character sheet, I despise Banshee, so it's very exciting.
Right. I know. You are not a fan. You are not a fan. But I'm curious.
I love this because my dynamic is once succubus.
Oh, awesome.
Who would ever come up with doing something that would create tension between characters?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Craziness.
So I'm curious, why do you despise Banshee? What is it about Banshee that you despise? Could it be that you have nothing to get a hold of?
A little bit. I feel like more than anything, like their desperation is off-putting, probably because it echoes a little bit of my desperation with wealth and power and stuff, so it's a little bit like looking in the mirror at the things I don't like. So
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it. Excellent.
And I also feel like I can't trust them 100% to do like what's best for everyone when sometimes they get very distracted by like breaking into museums so they can become corporeal.
Sure.
Well, you don't know that yet.
No, no, I don't know. But I mean, like, I'm sure that's probably not
Right.
the first time you've done something like.
Probably. Well, I think that the thing with Banshee is that they have because nothing can affect them, they feel that nothing can affect them. So being part of a team or working with people, sure, if it's sort of meeting my needs for whatever it is, but I don't really care. There's nothing to hold on to, because there's nothing to hold on to.
Nice.
Seems reasonable to me. I like it. So, but you arrive at the warehouse.
Okay. And I found a quote because I really liked your suggestion. So when she opens conversations with people so they know it's her, like part of the, whatever our group is going to be called, you must not fight too often with one enemy or you will teach him all of your art of war, which is a quote by Napoleon Bonaparte.
Nice.
So that's like her code word for, hey, that's me, bitches.
Cool.
So if we can play something out, I think that initially as you approach in this sort of mousy disguise, Banshee gets into the,
Someone's invaded.
foolish,
Yeah.
foolish mortal, what are you doing here?
Save it. You must not fight too often with one enemy or you will teach him all your art of war, dear.
Oh. Succubus.
Yes. We must away to the warehouse quickly. If you would, I would rather not stay here any longer than necessary.
Of course. What is our next step?
We'll find out when we get to the warehouse. That's why we're going to the warehouse.
Yes.
I'm going to get started. You make your way there, please.
I will.
All right. She's going to kind of walk in. Even in, like, her mousy librarian, she's still, like, kind of like, dust. Like, for just a second, like, the pose changes and then back into librarian character. Then she's going to head back to the tube. And
Cool.
As Succubus walks away, Banshee drifts forward and sort of has, like, the longing, but then just follows.
yeah, okay.
If only you could touch her.
If only she wanted you to.
Right.
Yeah.
There's that too. There's that
Scent
too.
is sexy. All right.
So, I think you all eventually arrive at the warehouse, which is in the Docks District in London. And I think it's a warehouse that, through shadow companies and whatnot, I think probably you own. Because you have control of the money.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Besides, money's kind of a, for your purposes, money's kind of a,
It's a thing that
it's
exists.
a tool that, as long as there's sufficient of it to,
Get you new shirts that don't have bullet holes.
That's all I ask.
Okay, cool. So there you are.
I'm glad to see we all had quite an interesting evening. We are getting sloppy, though.
Not we.
Well, some of us leave the bedroom.
Why, dear?
There's a whole world out there that's ours. Might as well explore it.
Well. Quippy retorts, paused for Mike falling off. Well, yes, I'd much rather spend more time in the bedroom than just buy what I want of the world outside.
Yes, unfortunately, we cannot buy our way into a new world order, can we?
Well, yeah,
Not
and
yet.
if some people have worked quite well that way, but no, some are more difficult.
I'm afraid the media is getting a bit more wind of us than I would have cared for them to have this early, which means our timetable may need to advance. The vote for the Registration Act is tomorrow. I have done what I can to sway the swing vote our way. However, the best laid plans of mice and men, so on and so
Are
forth.
pathetic because both mice and men are pathetic.
Correct. So, we may need to plan something for tomorrow, should the vote not go our way.
Well, a certain number of politicians have been purchased, so we can depend on those votes at least.
Right. It is just this last swing vote. I thought I had him, and then the fates took him away from me. He should still vote with us, but it's not as guaranteed as I would have liked.
Should have tried honey rather than vinegar.
Well, next time you can just sleep with him, and we'll be much better for it, won't we?
Probably.
Should I go put a fear into him?
No, he's fair enough. I was able to do that with ease.
You need the carrot.
Exactly. That's my concern. I was hoping to give him the carrot after the stick. Unfortunately, the stick was a bit harder than I anticipated.
It's usually not a problem for you. I'm just saying.
So I am open to ideas. This is not quite a dictatorship.
What does he actually want?
I think he may actually want the safety of people. He may actually be a decent human being.
Those don't exist. It's just a matter of figuring out what angle it is. Just watch. His heart was broken by an ex, or his mother was an ex and didn't love him enough, or something. There's always something.
All of these so-called decent, normal types, what they really care about is their own deads. The greater good is just a cover for their pack.
Absolutely.
Well, perhaps now that I've tried the stick, maybe it is time to try the carrot. What time is it in the evening? Is it
Let's call it 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock?
Would be just about the time the opera's getting out.
Good.
Does anybody know what happens if someone doesn't show up for a vote in Parliament?
Their vote isn't counted, and if there aren't enough people who show, if not enough people show up, there isn't a quorum to be able to pass
Right.
a rule, a law. So it can usually just means it's delayed.
Well,
A delay would only buy us time. We need this killed.
I mean, there's an easier way, but
I like where your head is
we're
at.
all stealth and don't kill all the yes votes. It's just so much easier and faster
But
and
sloppy.
more
But less
satisfying.
effective. And then there'll be an election, and they'll have more,
There's always more. I mean,
and it will just prove how dangerous our kind are.
well, I mean, we are.
Right, we don't want them to know that completely yet. Let them get under our thumb first.
Do you fight a challenger when they're at their height of power, or do you track them down when they're weak and easy to cull?
No, you fight them at their height of power where you can show everyone that you have bested them and that you are now their master.
yes, but darling, you're thinking of them as equals. Think
True.
of them as prey.
Go for the day. Secure the safety of his own den, his pups. He'll fall in line.
What do we know about him? Do we know anything about him? Were we able to do any kind of reconnaissance on him?
Sure. Married, 2 children, a son and a daughter. They attend private schools that their people take the children to every day. The wife is very busy in society doing, all the things that a politician's wife would do. This brunch, that lunch, the other, tea. All campaigning for, her husband's causes and whatnot. And, being seen as being people of the people, as it were.
Okay.
There's a way. That if he doesn't believe he's one of them, but he believes he's one of us.
Oh.
Well
His
done.
pups are of age.
They are. You make a good point. So he's not voting in our best interest, but in his.
We'll make a politician of you yet, Wolfie. Well done.
Throw such foul curses at me, woman. Thing. Person.
I imagine that succubus is probably really irritating for you for smell because you can't pin down who they are.
Actually,
Or maybe
what
that's the
comes
one thing
across,
that doesn't change.
I figured that those basic pheromones don't actually change.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That I can actually identify succubus, and it doesn't, like, the outward appearance thing doesn't bother me.
That's interesting.
But I
think it's-
find the like overt, like those sexual pheromones that succubus is able to use on other people to like convince them to do their bidding have like are kind of latently like affect direwolf. That there's like, well, what if we were to start a pack of our own? That there are guys who's kind of like if direwolf were to ever settle down and create a little direwolf clan.
Cool. I like it. Okay, excellent. So, how are you going to try to do that? I'm curious. I want to know.
Well, there are a couple options. I can try to illusion something, make him see something that's not there. But I think he already doesn't trust me, so it should be something he sees with his own eyes. Or at least thinks he sees. What if we were to have Banshee take the form of one of his children
Changeling.
and perhaps using her own skill set, or perhaps using an invisible hand, give the illusion, the physical illusion of powers. Perhaps something as simple as telekinesis. Things moving off the walls, flying across the room, that she could then say that she was doing with her own mind.
It has to be something, yes.
I mean, if the
Something
child,
that they take credit for.
yes, well, if the child comes out as an X before the vote, it would definitely make the politician hesitate. They wouldn't want their child's name on such a registry, especially connected with them.
Exactly. So perhaps we, before they get back from the opera, we sneak in, do the switch, have you two play your part, convince him that his child is now one of us, and we win his vote.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something to try in the morning. Banshee, do you feel up to it?
Yes. A chance to work with you, of course.
Very well.
That's good, Ghosty.
Don't call me that.
Oh, so touchy all of a sudden.
That's
So I'm-
not funny.
Okay. Carry on. I like it.
So wait, just to repeat the plan as a character or as a player,
Yeah.
so I recognize. I transform into them, and then he does the flies
Exactly.
around
I don't know
invisible.
exactly. I'm not sure what
Okay.
your skill set is
Okay,
as
so-
far as what powers you
Or
make it
you-
look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my thought was if we do telekinesis,
Got it.
you would be like, I'm making that doll move, and really it's the ghost making
Got it.
the doll move.
Got it.
And you can use your powers of influence over him to make him more
Yeah.
susceptible to the suggestion,
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
right?
I'm
That's
in
fine.
favor of it. Yes.
Cool. All right. So, correct me if I'm wrong. You're going to try to infiltrate the politician's house
Yes.
and kidnap the daughter and replace her with
Yeah.
succubus.
Well, it's an adult daughter. Does she still live at home?
Is it
Is
an
it
adult
adult
daughter?
daughter?
Oh, I thought it-
They're in
oh,
like
the-
boarding school.
they're
It's like
boarding
not
school
a.
Got it.
It's
okay.
They're boarding school age.
They're
So they'd be at boarding
pubescent.
school.
They're
Yeah.
pubescent.
Well,
age.
they're private school age. They live at home, but they drive them to the school every
Got
day.
it. Okay. Perfect. I think the easiest thing would probably be to catch her at school and then just go home.
But the vote is tomorrow.
Indeed, but, I mean, the child's going to go to school at
Before
7,
the
8. She'll go to her first class. And we'll grab her at some point. I'll take her sweater or whatever she's wearing and go home to dear Daddy. There's something I've been wanting to tell you, Pop-Up. Pop-Up.
These
Okay.
strange names they come up with for themselves.
So you're going to do this in the morning on the way to school.
I think so, yeah. I think that's the best, yeah. While she's out on the way to school,
Okay.
do the switch.
Don't
Okay.
have to
Her
deal
back
with home
home.
security.
Sure.
I mean, really, it just takes one tiny swipe of a tire and they're inconvenienced for an hour.
Yeah.
Would we be able to have her, once we acquire her, would you be able to keep her at your den? It's out of the way and not easily accessible.
Shouldn't be an issue.
Good.
She shouldn't come back home either.
I mean, I don't really. It's just a pup. Someone will keep him as a pet, right?
Let's play that by ear. We'll see what we can do. I would not be upset if she went missing permanently. Well, there are things we can do.
That way they can't test her later for the X gene and find that she doesn't have it.
True, but after the vote, will it really matter?
Well, I mean, there can always be another vote. And it never hurts to have a poor, innocent X-girl who's become the victim of more anti-X violence show up in the river.
Oh.
Especially one as high profile. However,
That is actually a fantastic way to stir up anti-X sentiment.
I don't.
Emotions are my thing.
I did happen to bring home a piece of one of those crazy, drug-addled, disgusting pieces of normal filth.
Oh.
Easily blamed on them.
Yes. You could easily make it look like he killed her, and then she killed him trying to defend herself.
Yes. I like this plan. I think this could work.
Okay.
JiB's like, I have created fucking monsters.
You asked!
I am loving this. I'm just giddy. It just warms my evil little GM heart. Well, if I had one.
I sold that for his Doom pool.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's morning.
That's why they're red dice.
So it's morning.
Oh, before we do that, can I have just one quick scene?
Sure.
So I think after Succubus and Direwolf leave, I'll have a moment.
Yeah.
Or Morgan.
I'm gonna go off and like watch like video footage of her, look her up on the internet, see like listen to her voice, try and like get in character.
Sure.
And figure out and get a copy of the uniforms I'm gonna have to wear the next day. So while they're doing this, that's what I'm up to.
Morgan,
Yes.
make me feel.
Well, normally someone buys me dinner first.
Please, before we do this next thing, I need it. And here's what I'm going for. One of the things I have is that I can almost touch Morgan because you're sort of 1 foot in the Fey realm.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm also thinking that with your illusion powers, you can make me pretend that I can feel again, and that is why I'm hooked in and follow you because you feed
I'm
me.
supplying your
yes,
your high.
Exactly. You give me that
contact
thing that
high.
I need.
Oh, I'm really embarrassed by that.
No, that was amazing. I loved it.
I was one of the best today.
Okay. You really want that. You really want to feel like everyone else.
Just for a few moments, please.
Well, if we get your head straight, we wouldn't want another spectacle like this evening, now would we? I will use illusion to
Okay.
help him do the thing. So that'll be illusion, which is D10, mental, which is D12. I'll use the nice D12. This is
Probably Buddy.
This is definitely Buddy.
I know, we're not good at that, but...
And I will do this... I will do this for love, I think. Because I understand what it's like to feel half, 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Okay.
And it's keeping you in towing the line.
Right.
We will do that thing. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. An 11 is a partial success.
Okay.
And a 15 is a complete success.
Okay.
Oh, no!
Wow.
Oh, man.
Folks, for everyone listening there, that's a 1 on the D6, a 1 on the D4, a 1 on the D12, and a 5 on the D10.
Oh.
Damn.
Doom pool, man.
Damn.
I don't know.
The thing is, though, I like this because we're villains, and you are gaining the benefit
Right.
while distributing the negative.
So, first off, I want to know, why didn't that work?
It didn't work because... Well, it didn't work. I don't think it worked because in my heart, I didn't really want it to.
Oh.
I think that, again, that idea of carrot stick, it was taking the carrot one step further.
Pulling it away.
It's pulling the football away.
Exactly.
Be like, well, I'll give it to you afterwards.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the spin Morgan's putting on it, because he
of course.
can't possibly fail. He's an all-powerful sorcerer.
Right, sure. So for, Banshee, he does the thing, and it's like when you pass your hand through his, you feel just like the faintest resistance.
Like almost.
Yeah.
That was for the spectacle this evening. Next time you want something, let me know, and we can get it.
Fine.
You will get what you want when the job is done.
You taunt me too much.
I dealt with spirits much more fearsome than you.
I'll do this, but you will pay me when this is done. You know my price. And then out through the wall.
And then, Bela Lugosi clone.
Yeah.
Love it.
Just like the spectral mist. Boom.
Love it.
He will readjust and straight out.
Okay.
Opposite
So we need to put some dice down to see how your research goes.
Okay. I also, when I get back to my actual house as Shelley, I'm also going to have, there's probably a personal, my own personal lance, a guy who's there who I trust, who knows the truth of me. He's probably an X2.
I'd have to be.
Yeah, and believes in the cause and is there to help me always, and has been through multiple gentlemen with me. Earlier there was something I caught on the news about a young X named Colleen saving a large number of normals. I don't like having variables like that floating around right now. If you could have someone look into her and her activities, we need to know more about X's who are helping normals. That's it's ridiculous.
Of course, right away.
Thank you.
And it is making notes on a tablet.
Yeah.
As you go.
I am anti-FISA. Okay.
So we have evil FISA, and then we have more evil FISA.
Yes.
Love it.
You know I'm right.
Yeah.
Where is the lie?
Yeah. All right. And then so she's going to do her research. It's going to be social for her because she's trying to take on the social personality of this person. It's solo because no one's fucking helping her with this shit. And it's going to be... for power. Because she
That makes
wants
sense to
the
me.
power to, like, be able to impact this guy's life. And it's going to be her shape change power. Or mimic power. It should be her mimic power, sorry. And I'm going to use my... Is this just for the research, or is this actually to become her?
This is for the research.
Okay, then I'm not going to use my hero die yet. I'm going to wait till the next day.
And an 11 is a partial success, and a 15 is a total success.
Okay. I got a 14. And a D10 effect. All right. And a 1. At least I have a thing now.
Now, because the 1 was on the D10, if you buy that
You
D10...
can't use a 1 as your effect die.
Oh, I can't. Okay, I forgot that. I don't remember what the
You had a D6 effect.
Okay, thank
Because
you.
you used your 2 10s, or an 8 and a 10 to get your success.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So you are able to gather the information that you need, and you test shape change into her a couple of times, I think. I think we have the panel of her at the mirror going...
The 80s montage.
Like the three of us gathered and just shaking our head, no.
No.
Trying on
Little too
scrunchies.
short.
Yeah.
Little too tall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best. That's so good.
All right.
Like you take your hair out of the scrunchie and go.
I kind of see this little girl who's like 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was picturing her to be like 12 or 13, like Allie's age, so she still has scrunchies.
Okay, you know what? We'll go with
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Because that would make sense. That
She's
like if the X
burgeoning
gene,
teenager.
Yeah.
Is
if
like
the
a
X
burgeoning
gene
teenager.
manifests
Yeah.
at puberty,
Right.
Makes sense to me that it would,
yeah,
which is probably even more tormenting for you because you remember a time when you were physical, when you had
Right.
a physical presence.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
What about Direwolf? Did she look normal, or has she always looked that way?
Direwolf doesn't dwell on the past.
Okay. Nice.
We live in the present.
In the present.
We live in now.
Nice. That's fascinating.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that very much. So anyway, like I said, she's a burgeoning teenager. I think she has quite long hair. And her parents like want her in pigtails, and she's like,
Leaves the house in pigtails and then just pulls it back. And
Does the waistband thing where you
Yeah.
roll it and its skirt gets shorter?
yeah.
Not speaking from experience.
What teenage girl hasn't done that? I know my daughters did. So.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
It's
So-
gonna be that girl who wore pants.
Yeah.
Didn't know it. Was wearing pants.
Yes.
Cool. I dig it.
Cool.
So it's the next morning, unless somebody else has something they want to do. So who's watching as the children, along with each of them has an individual protector, and the chauffeur in the car leave? Who's watching for this?
I feel like I need to already be in place wherever that we're going to stop her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm waiting to sabotage the car.
I think that I'm probably literally shadowing them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. You have no problem seeing the car pulling out and following it or being in it. Although, it raises a question of, since you can't affect the tangible world, is how would
Right.
you, not motivate yourself?
Well, I'm thinking, so like one of the powers I have is Ghost Touch, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe that could be like a sort of poltergeist thing where I can't feel, but I can
Affect.
move things around, sort of. Which also kind of, because one of my assets is a silver locket, which I picture as being on,
Yeah.
which kind of like is physically there, but also phases through things with me at the same time. Like it's the only physical part.
I like it.
But
I like it. I have no problem with it. Like I said, it's one of those things about
no, it's definitely comic logic. Like, oh, how come Kitty Pryde doesn't sink into the bottom of the earth every time she
right
phases, or in fact stay still while everything else speeds away
exactly
at the speed of galaxy.
Damn it! I hate
the real way how Days of Future Past.
Right.
Galaxies
crap. Comic book logic. I like it. Anyway, but you are able to go with them as this is going on, and I think that you were able to get the necessary sense that you needed to identify the car.
Yes, I did
your
reconnaissance last night.
Yeah.
It's just a basic scenting around the house, making sure I could separate out the sense of the mother, the household staff, blah 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 blah. Also,
I have no problem with that.
Spent a little bit of time for these future plans and made sure I knew kind of the regular haunts of one of my one of the lesser prey I let live for a short time.
Sure, absolutely, you can do that. Okay, so the car is now approaching the spot where you were going to disable it. Okay, so what does that look like?
Gonna knock a tree into the road.
You're gonna knock a tree into the road? Sweet, I like it. Okay.
I mean, it's like you could gash out a tire, but
Yeah, let's be more flashy than that.
There's a spot where
Supervillain.
there's a spot where the car has to go through a very narrow lane. Because my understanding, perhaps I'm wrong, but many roads in London are very skinny.
Yeah. That's kind of like driving through Los Angeles.
Okay.
There are cars on either side of you. So
Except badly planned because they didn't actually plan it.
Right, because they're all sheep paths.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what would be nice if we paved this?
Yeah. Carriages fit. It's fine.
It all works out.
I can ride a horse through it.
Yeah.
It's all good. Anyway, but there's trees and there's a big one that's already kind of aged and and possibly rotting inside.
It has beetles.
So
those will be a tasty snack later.
So let's knock that. So let's knock that tree down.
Great. So I am going to use physical, and I'm doing this by myself because who's really helping me take down a tree? And I am doing it for power, and with claws and dice. And that is a 15 with a D10 effect.
Right, and a 1.
Oh, and a 1.
Nice.
Who was it who was saying that we'd added 121s?
The curse was activated.
Yes.
Thanks for that, JiB.
Thanks.
Thanks.
So on the
I think it's
meta,
because Stork's in the chat
do we
room.
want the? I blame Stork.
Thanks, Stork.
We always blame Stork.
Do we want the car to crash into the tree, or do we just want them to stop, or what's the plan here?
I was thinking if we use them to stop, I can use Fog of War when the driver gets out to examine the tree.
Nice.
Obscure everything so we can do the switch. So the driver has no idea.
Yeah, because the idea, the plan here is to do a seamless swap, not to not to kill people and whatever yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I got you.
This time.
I got you. Okay. So you got a 16, I believe. Yes.
15.
Okay. That's a total success because a 15 was a total success and 11 was a partial success. So the car comes to a stop, and the driver's getting out of the car to go inspect and figure out and then look around to try to figure out how he's going to back up to get out of this choke point that you've created. And so that happens.
Okay.
And I think that the two guards are going to get out of the car, but they're going to stay at the doors because their job is to protect their principles.
Right.
That's they're there for. And so they're kind of blocking your access to the
girl.
The girl at the moment. Okay, so that's what's happening right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we can talk meta for a moment.
Yeah.
If you go ahead and do the fog, then I will lure the guard at the door, at the kid's door, away, so that you can do the swap, grab the girl, get away, but I can use lure to make him think that I'm the girl,
Nice.
come towards me over
Perfect.
here.
I dig it.
Well done.
Let's do that thing. I am going to spend a plot point to use my hero die on this because I've been rolling so well today.
Okay.
So take that away. All right, we got D12. We're going to use a nice D12.
Here.
And-
Fat stacks of.
Right. D10, I'll use this other percentile die for my D10 there. And power, another D10. And then Fog of War, which is a D6. It's good D6. Hopefully good D6. All right. And then, the... That's right. I'm good. Got them all. Yeah. Okay, that's looking better.
It is better. Good thing
All
you
right.
use the hero die though.
All right. So we got 8 and
that
7,
was-
so it's a 15.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to spend a plot point to add another die to that
Nice.
and make it a 21
Okay.
With the D10 effect.
with D10 effect.
Okay. So they had a 13.
Oh, good.
So add a D10 hero die to your. Just set that aside.
Sweet.
And you are able to confuse the situation. Is that like physical fog rolling in that's shrouding things, or it?
Yeah, I think what I'm doing is I'm making it look as if it were coming from the exhaust of the car.
Okay.
So kind of massing it so that it'll explain the fog. And
Sure.
also hopefully kind of get them to maybe back up a little bit or try to examine
Okay.
what's happening to make them easier to lure.
Right. As visibility is decreased, the two principals, the two guards, become more tense
Okay.
and actually draw guns because they don't really understand why this seems unnatural and weird to them.
Okay.
And I think that they were probably told last night about the attack on the politician, and so they're at a higher state of awareness and concern
Okay.
at this point. Because I think it was probably the possibility was raised of someone trying to kidnap his children to put pressure on him.
Nice.
Make sense?
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay. So they're going to be at a heightened state of awareness, but you are successful, wildly successful.
Good.
In fact. What your effect was D10?
D10, yeah.
I can't write. Okay, so this is a scene condition that anyone can use for the expense of a plot point.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay? And so if I use it, I will give you a plot point on a contest that we're using, and you use it, you spend a plot point to use it.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
okay?
Do we need to announce that we're using it ahead of time?
Yes.
Okay, and it's a single use, so once someone uses it, it goes away as a
Nope.
condition? Oh, okay.
Stays for
Great.
the scene.
Great.
Stays for the scene.
Nice.
Okay, so that happened. And
I'm going to do my transformation.
so now, but now
Okay.
actually we're into initiative order. So everybody gets one of these. And what you do is
Ready for action.
you
Put it right here so that the camera can see.
when you go, turn it over so the red side is up, and you decide who goes next. So since you went first, turn your card over, and who goes next?
Banshee. Not Banshee. Succubus.
Yes. So I'm going to do my transformation. I'm spending plot point to use my hero die.
And you need an 11 as a partial success and a 15 as a total success.
7 and 7 is 4. Oh, no, that's a 1. No, that's a 7. Okay, 14 on a D10 effect.
Okay. So you were able to make the change, but I think that, like I said, it's because it's 14, it's a partial success.
Yeah.
You're able to make the change, and you totally look like her. However, your tattoo is visible somewhere
Okay.
and could possibly be seen.
Okay. What is she wearing?
School uniform,
Like a sweater, like a cardigan?
sweater, cardigan over a blouse with like probably a lace collar, and which she probably really hates.
Probably.
And the plaid kilt, miniskirt type pleated.
I'm going to make
miniskirt.
sure that my sweater, that's like a copy of hers, is like pulled down as far as I can.
Okay. I think she was wearing hers probably around her neck instead, so that's a slight difference. Does that
It's
work?
worth it.
That work for you?
Yeah. They're less likely to notice the sweater than they are the tattoo. Right.
The
Would
giant
be my
tattoo.
guess. Yeah.
Jamming. I dig
Where'd
it.
you get the ink?
This morning. Cool. And then I'm going to have Direwolf go next.
Okay,
Because
so
turn your card over.
Okay.
Well, should I go
I think-
next?
Oh, yeah,
because
because
I
they
need to lure the
lure
guard.
so I
in.
can
Yeah,
get
sorry,
the
go
girl.
ahead.
Yeah, so we can do that shift. Okay, so I'm going to be using social because I feel like that's the most appropriate
Okay.
for this because we're doing a social interaction.
Sure.
Solo, this is going to be truth because I'm obscuring the truth is how I'm interpreting that. I'm going to use lure, and then I'm also taking a D10 for the fog, so that sort of reinforces
Okay.
that I look
Okay.
like the.
For the use of the fog,
You bet.
I dig it.
And it looks like 15 with a D10 effect and a D8 you can buy if you wish.
Okay. I will buy that D8.
Okay.
I also have a 15 with a D10 effect. What
Oh.
did you get on your effect die? What was the roll?
Oh, I'm sorry, I cleared my dice, so
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
remember. But I'll roll a D10 and we'll just call it that.
Sure.
3, unfortunately.
They had a 1.
JiB, you bastard.
So for a moment he goes, oh no, it's the principal.
Yeah.
Never
I have
mind,
to go
never
protect
mind.
the principal.
So what is it that you use to draw him off?
So from shrouded in this fog and with the lure, my form is cola smaller and a breathy. Help! Where are we?
Okay.
Nice.
I'd call out, to have the guard rush over.
Sure. He's going to come over. He's absolutely going to come over. Because I think he thinks his principal has somehow gotten out in the
Slipped
fog.
out of the car, right?
And as now,
Right, and I'm just going to kind of like lead him in this circle as.
yeah, absolutely. I dig it. Who goes next?
that would be me.
So you have Direwolf and you have the bad guys.
So I'm going to use this opportunity created to
Snatch the girl.
snatch the girl and run.
Snatch
Okay.
that girl.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you going to do that?
I am going to use the fog to
Nice.
go in, basically carry her off. Like I'm literally going to snatch the child. I'm going to smother her face in my expansive
Oh, your
See
fur?
your fur.
Yeah.
Your
my
fur is sound
expansive
dampening.
furs,
It's
my
insulating.
insulating fur,
Oh, yeah. You can
to like
add that
prevent
dice.
her screams from reaching the guards.
Nice.
Well, I run back to my den and just trust that everyone else has done the thing, the rest of the things that they're going to do.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, I am using physical to snatch the child out of the car. Sorry, I can't help myself. I feel like this is a team effort because, like, I'm the
Yeah.
last piece of this bigger team
This bigger team puzzle.
thing that we are doing. And then it is... I mean, I'd love to say we're doing this for... Well, we are doing it for power. Because, like,
Yeah.
You're
we're
doing it
really,
to-
like, literally doing this to get power over the politician.
You are, in
So
fact.
that's power.
I love, like, that's our hashtag. Like, it's hashtag for power, while, like, the other group's hashtag for justice.
And then I am using... Not using any of my powers, really. It's not claws and fangs on the little
using
pup
your fur, though.
yet. So I'm
So
using my
you-
asset, which is my fur. So
Right,
that's
so-
a D10, and
and
that costs
a
a
plot
plot
point.
point.
It does, in fact. Thank you.
So that was the. So I think that's all of the things I need. Oh, it's an 11, and you can buy a D12.
Okay. Oof. I will buy that D12.
You could also
And then
spend that
a
last plot point to
10.
add.
And
Oh, and I guess I could, yeah. I could spend this to add a D10 hero to this.
yeah. So you're
That's a 7.
okay.
So that would actually end up being a 13 instead of 11.
Okay. Nick, will you confirm for me, please? 'Cause I have a 22.
That's a 22.
Oh my God.
Yes, it is.
I have a 22 with a D10 effect.
Ouch.
And here's what's going to happen. You rush up to the car to reach in to grab her, okay? And when she sees you reaching in the car to grab her, she wheels on you, and her eyes are blazing incandescent blue-white. I was waiting for her to actually do that.
I wondered about that one. I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if she already is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amusing?
Oh. So what she's going to do is she's going to blast you with this blast of blue-white light that is going to fling you back away from the car and give you a D10 condition of dazed. Because, wow.
Bub is a bit more powerful than we knew.
So there's that.
Thank you.
And I think what the rest of you see is from the inside the car. Okay, you could, because you guys all see what's going on, and you see Direwolf rush up to the car to grab the girl, and from inside the car you see this blast of incandescent blue-white light, and Direwolf is flung meters back, like flung across the street to crash into a car, drives that car, into another car. It's like, and the whole side of the car is just crumpled in. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One currently looking like a 13-year-old eyebrow just goes up in the air like, impressive.
I feel like our efforts may have been
Yeah.
slightly wasted.
Out of character. This is now backfired.
Oh, not at all.
Oh no, this is
Not
the
at all.
best.
This is the best thing that could have happened.
All right.
Except for the headache I'm
Yeah.
going to have later.
All right,
This-
so it's the bad guys.
I like to imagine that you pinwheeled back.
I guess
like
it was
it's
the bad
all
guys.
blast in your
Right.
face.
It's for the other guys.
antagonists.
Antagonists, there we go.
This is for like the guards and
Okay.
whatnot, who see this and see you. And I think they're going to open fire on you because that's what they see
Yeah.
right now. Does that make sense?
I mean, I'd open fire on me too. I'm obviously the biggest threat.
Clearly. So they're working. It's physical, as a team, with guns, and that's all they have. But I'm going to give them, because I have all these lovely dice in my doom pool.
Can I attempt to intervene?
Sure.
I would like to try to use warp reality to change their bullets
Oh,
to rubber
Okay.
to make them less harmful.
Okay.
I mean, bruises are bruises. I heal
Right,
fast.
but then maybe make them dissolve in air. There we
Okay.
go. Let's go full warp reality. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so I need a D8 and I need a D12. Give me that nice D12. And I'm solo. Let's do the D10. And I'm doing this for power. I mean,
Hashtag for power.
Hashtag for power. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. That's a 16 with D10.
Okay. So that's a full success because it's 15-11 again, so let's see what roll
Sure, yeah.
does to. So I have a 17.
Oh. Well then. We're gonna go
No,
ahead.
he can't buy that one. Or okay, it doesn't work that one. Okay,
Unfortunately, you guys can't buy my dice.
all right.
I will spend a plot point to add this d4 to my total.
Okay.
So it'll be a 20
Sweet.
with a d10 effect.
Okay, so they open fire, and as they're opening fire, I don't know if you see Morgan kind of like, I don't know what the gesture looks like.
Oh, it's
or
a
anything.
big sweeping gesture. It's
But I think that because you have really heightened, senses because of your superior tracking, you like watch the bullets dissolve in the air, and we have that frame of you watching the bullets as they're coming at you. This like away to nothing. Does that work?
yeah, that works
Makes
fine.
sense.
Love it.
Dig it. Yes.
Are they done? Can I go?
Well, yes. Everybody, turn your cards back over, but they get to decide who goes next.
I know. I'm telling them that I want to.
You want to go next? Okay.
Go for it.
All right. I have a question though. I have to spend for the distinction. I have to spend a plot point. Okay, I don't have the plot points to use, but that's okay. But not the powers, right? I can use my powers with that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to pull out the best weapon any 13-year-old has, which is my cell phone, and start filming this 13-year-old using powers. And I'm going to actually use my power though, like while I'm doing that, because I feel like I'm probably good enough with a cell phone to like do multiple things. I'm going to try my shape change. Can that change my clothes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to shape change into a very handsome 13-year-old boy in the same uniform as her school.
Sweet.
So, social, solo, and I'm going to use love because now this girl is on my team. She's an ex, and she's going to be on my team. Mm-hmm. Even if she doesn't know it's my team. She thinks it's the 13-year-old boy's team.
I mean,
So
it's our
those are-
team.
those are
The
two
pup
separate-
is
they're-
ours.
I
They're
can
two
do both at the
separate
same
things.
time?
No, you can't.
Okay.
But they're two separate roles.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You want me to roll for pulling out
So
the
which
phone?
one do you want to do first? Do you want to do the filming first to capture this?
Yes, because I want to get her using her powers. So I'll do that first. That will be different. So that's still social, I think.
I think that's still social.
Social media.
There you go. It's in the name.
Solo and still love because and then I don't have anything else for that though.
That's okay.
Okay.
You need an 11.
11.
Yeah.
I got that.
Nice.
Ooh. So yeah. So a 13.
I see a 17.
Yeah. No.
No.
Oh, is
It's
that
a
a
1.
13.
It's a 1? Okay.
So a 7 and a 6. So an 11.
Okay.
No.
A 13.
Sorry, that's a 13. Sorry.
13. Cool.
Yeah.
So no, that's a success.
Yeah.
You are able to capture a clear video of her as she steps out of the car, her eyes blazing,
Yeah.
and kind of like this nimbus of light around her, like that incandescent blue fire crackling around her hands as she crawls out of the car, and she looks pissed.
Good. Nice. All right, and I'll make sure that's like away and safe in
Cool.
my soon-to-be pocket because girl clothes don't have pockets. Wait, no, I forget how I made this die pool. 1, 2, wait. Okay, so social and
Your shape changer, you can
Solo.
make pockets.
I'm going to make
All
pockets.
pockets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the pockets. Love.
I like your
and
form.
then
Thanks,
shape
it has
change.
pockets.
It's pockets. I would use gender as fluid if I had a fucking plot point.
Okay, and in changing like this, you're trying to what? To do what? Where are you trying to get to with this?
Hopefully, I'm going to like try and approach her in a second, like, wow, that was amazing, and be like someone she might be like, oh, he's cute. Oh, he thinks I'm amazing.
Okay.
He goes to my school.
He goes to my school. Like,
Okay.
maybe I should trust this person.
Okay.
Just to like get past that. I don't know, because 13-year-olds trust 13-year-olds. Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
18 with a D10 effect.
Okay.
Super cute kid.
Yeah.
But like a little bit flawed, just like enough to be like
Believable.
a WB star someday.
I'm not old enough yet because I have to be 25 to be a WV star. To be
Technically 22.
To play a teenager on WB.
At least all of the stars on my show are all 22.
Oh, they're all 22. Okay.
Okay. So you do that. And then we'll talk about the interaction with her in a minute.
Yeah, I'm staying back because I don't want them to associate me with the attack now.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
I'm just a kid.
Who's going to go next?
Flip
your card over.
Yeah. I'm going to have Morgan go next.
Okay. So, incandescent blue light. Girl climbs out of the car. She's blazing. Looks like she's ready for a fight.
Oh, yeah. Great. Super good. Let's use some illusion to... I had a plan, and it completely went away. Damn. Let's go with illusion. Let's go with illusion to make it look like... Oh my god, my brain just stopped working completely. That's fun. This is a good time, guys. Great podcasting.
I can have somebody else go first if you want.
If you want, yeah, because I completely forgot what I was going to do.
All right, let's have Banshee go next.
Yeah, great, because I have no idea what I'm going to do in this situation either. I'm like, Can I yank the guard around so that his gun is pointing towards the little girl?
Sure. You could
like a poltergeist thing where I'm just yanking the gun and so the whole body turns with it?
Let's find out.
Okay. This is not going to go well, but unfortunately I think this has to be physical.
Yeah.
And then Solo and probably power. This is not a great roll for me, guys, but we're good. And then we're using Ghost Touch, which is kind of my poltergeist ability. I don't think there's anything else here that I can really do. So let's just see what happens. That looks like it is 9 with a D10 effect.
Okay.
So pretty bad roll.
Okay, because he has a 14.
Ooh.
Okay.
With a D10 effect. To be fair, I rolled max numbers on 3 out of 4 dice.
Damn.
So you try to wheel him around, but I think that instead, you're going to wheel him around, but not at what you wanted, and he's going to pull the trigger.
Okay.
And shoot, and we'll find out who gets hit, if anybody. Okay?
Well, not me. IDGAF. Ah!
That one. That.
Me?
Yeah. Shot's going to go at you.
The 13-year-old boy.
Oh, this is actually perfect.
Yeah, actually, that's
as
good.
long as I don't die.
I mean, you do have to choose to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just have bullets. Ouch.
Yeah.
You too can have bullets out.
Bullets out for everybody.
Except me, apparently.
No.
Thanks to
You're
you.
welcome.
I wish I could
So-
have bullets.
This is why
ouch.
you're my alpha. You got my back.
Even Kane
Let me
has
ask you a question. Are
something
you
to
going
feel.
to try to defend against this?
No.
No? Okay.
Just surprised.
Oh. I'm an innocent victim.
Help me, please.
Little girl.
So you have
13-year-olds don't call each other little girl.
All right.
a,
Youths. Trust me.
Fellow youth, help me, please.
Oh my god.
I am gonna call out in that kid voice though, like that scream when I get shot. Which I'm not gonna do because I can't do it well. But
Right, I got you.
yeah.
Right, I got you.
Land dramatically on the pavement. Fuck, that hurts. Goddamn.
I got you. Okay.
Right.
So who's going to go next?
Did you remember which one to do?
I think I have an idea now.
Great.
Okay, I will go
Make
now.
it happen.
I'm going to use that action of the guard shooting the innocent child to reveal myself
Okay.
and try to. I'm sure at this point we've guarded a bit of a crowd.
Well,
Or at least there are people, there's traffic.
gunfire. The traffic is backed up now, but there's gunfire, so people are taking cover.
Okay,
Because,
because
okay.
England and gunfire.
because
England and gunfire.
Yeah.
right.
Just think this doesn't play in America.
No, in America there'd be 30 people shooting right now.
You know, you gotta have your good guy with a gun
Yeah.
to prevent
A bad X with
X
out
on
of gun.
X on X violence.
Right. Yeah, so I'll try to pull. No, I should do something non-violent. I'm going to play the X's are good card.
We're here to help you card.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm going to do my best superhero impression
Sure.
and try to get the people who are watching to see that we are Xers here to help the X's that are being attacked by the normies,
Okay.
by the
Right.
sapiens.
Who are indiscriminately shooting people.
Exactly.
Indiscriminately shooting children.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
That's
going
going to be in the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is.
This guy's losing his job.
So I think at this point, I'm actually going to let's just go full camp with this. If we're going
Is
to be
there
a hero,
any other kind?
I am going to try to use warp reality again and transform their guns into water pistols
Ooh.
Okay.
to alleviate the threat and make us seem harmless.
I think that's a hard
I'm
thing
sure
to do,
it
so that's
is.
going to need a 15.
Okay. Well, I'm going to spend this last one to use my hero die. So that's definitely in. I'll put that aside so I don't forget. Okay. Mental, which is a D12. And solo, which is another D10. And we're going to do it with the power! Which is another D10. And I do that. And I just need warp reality, which is D8. Come on, guys. Be good
We
dice.
can do
Be
it.
good dice. Those are not bad. What did I need?
A 15.
I got a 16.
Sweet.
With a D12.
Okay. So all of a sudden, they're standing there holding water pistols. I think they're bright orange.
Of course they are.
And bright orange and blue. And they're like, and now they're very confused and perplexed.
Stop, you foul villains! Harming innocent children! Don't you see that it's really humanity, that is the issue? They are the ones who are hurting people, not people like us who are here trying to live our lives.
Isn't it ironic that humans are the ones with the least humanity?
Yes. Mm.
We have all the humanity.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, the humanity. Okay, so let's try to convince some people.
Cool.
We have so much
Like the
humanity.
little girl
we are
who's super pissed off
inhumanity.
right now.
Can I help?
Yeah.
By moaning and looking really pathetic in the background of him
Please
saying
do.
this?
But not too pathetic because you need her to like you.
That's right.
To assist, you have to spend a plot point.
Oh, I don't know.
damn.
Never
Okay.
mind.
So
I'm going to narratively be doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going
Course there's
to
a rack
assume
of
this
assist,
is
I just don't
social,
see it.
which is D6. So, mental?
I think so.
All right. I'm not going to sneeze at mental.
Well, no, it's social, but you're solo. Yeah.
Yeah, solo. Yeah. Definitely solo. And I'm going to do this for justice. Because I'm being a hero. Hashtag justice.
Hashtag for justice.
Okay.
And I'm on plot points. That's all I got.
Okay.
Or maybe for glory.
And I
my
think
justice is
in
better.
light
Okay.
of my understanding of the typical British response to gunfire, I think you need an 11.
Okay.
Which I think you
Yeah.
got.
Oh, yeah. That is a
Oh,
16 with a D6.
Okay. So give yourself a D6 hero die.
Sweet.
And
I want that still out.
so I think that the people are convinced, and I think that the guards are all like, and
Look at your life. Look at your choices.
and I think that she is going to back down a step.
Okay.
She still doesn't look happy
course
about
not.
things, but
She's 13. When is she going to ever be happy about anything?
It's going to be a
The
while.
world is telling her everything she likes is disgusting and terrible.
Yeah.
it's true.
And she's about to earn, 80% as much as her cute male bleeding counterpart makes.
Okay.
Unfortunately true. But I think she's going to notice you at this point, over there being, all bloody and tragic.
May I shake off this dazed real quick
Oh,
before
yeah.
we go?
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm just
you have-
I'm
yeah,
just
you have
trying to
your action.
not be disabled on the
Oh
ground.
no, you're never disabled. You're not disabled in any way.
Okay.
It's just a condition that I could use against you. But if you want to go ahead
I
and
would
get
like
rid
to
of
try
it,
to shake it off.
so you need to put together
No
a dice
pun
pool
intended.
using
Oh, wait, yes,
your
it was.
attributes, using only your 3 attributes, and I don't think it's going to be that hard to get rid of.
So I can't use fast healing for this.
Actually, in your case, I think yes. I think you could use that.
Okay. That's a 7. That's so sad.
Well,
Okay.
Did you add
is
everything?
all 3 of the attributes?
Right, you want to use all 3.
She's
I'm
still
going to use a
dice
die
pool.
from
Yeah.
each one of the attributes.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, that's fine.
So that was my
You're
D7,
solo.
so
I know
D4
you're
and a
definitely
D6.
solo on this. So
And then, oh, so I use an attribute and the affiliation and the values.
right, use it always.
My bad.
Always at a minimum, you're going to use those 3.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I see what you were saying now. I got confused. So I'm solo, and I am doing this for power because it's for power. Hashtag for power. Yeah. Hashtag for not being dazed. Okay. So that's an 8
Okay.
with a D12 effect.
Okay. You needed an 11.
Oh.
Fortunately, you did not roll any 1s. Do you want to spend a plot point to add an extra die?
I could. It'll get me the 11.
We'll get you the 11.
There
Okay.
you go.
Cool. So, yes, you're able to clear that
Effect.
effect completely. That condition. Excellent.
Wow.
Anyway, so she's going to...
You've betrayed me, so.
So she's gonna run over to you because 13-year-old boy, and she's gonna look at your wounds, and she's very concerned and upset about the fact that you got shot.
Yeah.
Cute boy got shot.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
And so I want to know what the rest of you are doing while this is going on, because I know what she wants to do, but I want to know what the rest of you are doing.
I think I'm fading away because there's no... I'm not going to be terribly super heroic in this new change of how we're doing anything, and I don't
Okay.
see that I can contribute much to this drama.
Okay.
So I think fading away and watching,
Okay.
and then if there's something that I feel I can do, I'll pop in.
Sure. Okay. What about you, Direwolf?
I'm going to do the my noble wolf act.
Okay.
You do the get on all fours and pat up to my alpha and support them by being by their side and slightly behind. So I support this noble heroic thing that he's doing without actually so I'm hiding most of my claws because they're down against the ground and I'm not baring my fangs at anyone.
Okay.
So I can look noble
People
and
are
heroic.
still, a bit terrified of you because you're big.
I'm a
and
giant wolf.
You're a
Yes,
giant
I
wolf.
get it.
But you're not being overtly threatening. So
It's like I go. So basically, what I'm doing is like I'm padding up. I'm doing like noble, 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 and then I lay down.
Cool.
In that,
Dig it. Dig it. What about you?
National Geographic.
I'm going to
cover look.
keep this hero train rolling, and I'm going to approach our poor gunshot wounded child,
Right.
and I'm going to try. Ooh, that may not be. Ooh, okay. What's a?
I think as you approach, because she's going to interrupt you,
Okay.
I think as you approach, she's going to look up and say, we have to get him to the hospital right now, right away. We can put him in my car.
That's a good idea. Quite the hero, young lady. The world needs more people like you. The world needs more people like all of us.
The little boy is going to look up at, what is her name?
I'm going to go with Allison.
Allison. You're going to look up at Alice and be like, you saved me. Thank you.
We'll talk about that later.
So I will pick up boy child and walk to the limo with Wolf on one side, Allison on the other,
Yeah.
looking like the perfect image, like posing for every newspaper picture. As we get
Some
into
Captain
the limo.
Harrow,
Yeah.
some Captain Hammer-esque.
Oh, absolutely,
going on
Captain
right
Hammer,
now.
realness.
Boy child is going to slip his cell phone into his pocket and be like, keep it safe. Like super low key. Like, oh, thank you for helping.
Don't try to talk. Save your strength. We will get you help soon.
Okay.
And then whisk away to the hospital.
Sure. Okay. You can do that. I think they probably didn't take you in the limo because, even, car rides can be fun, but...
No, thank you. I'm going back into the woods. I mean, not where anyone can see. One must maintain one's sense of dignity.
Dignity.
One must.
Always dignity.
Okay, cool.
This is England after all.
All right, so you're going to get to the hospital. They're going to take him into emergency. They're asking him all kinds of questions. They're asking you, so what's your name?
Billy.
They're taking all of this down. So where are your parents?
I don't know. I was walking to school and I think they might be
How
at
can we contact
work.
your parents?
I've been shot. I'm having trouble remembering things.
Why are you badgering this poor child? Do it.
We have to get his parents to get permission to work to treat him.
Well, maybe make me stop bleeding first. I mean, please.
Isn't that the way triage normally works? Is like,
Yeah.
stop the child from dying first.
Well,
Contact parents
They'll
after.
they'll try to get the information to contact the parents first, but if it's a choice between treating the child and
Yeah.
or letting the child die, and you're gonna treat the child because that's how hospitals work.
Yeah. He's just gonna start crying.
Sure. Manfully though, because
He's a 13-year-old boy.
13-year-old
Got shot. He can cry as
I
hard as
think,
he
yeah.
wants.
They probably didn't let Allison into the room either, so I'm not trying to impress her anymore. It's literally like, please stop asking me questions that I don't want to have to lie about.
Okay, so they're gonna it was a through and through, and it just hit muscles, so it's not anything serious. It's a D10 gunshot. It's not a D12 gunshot. If it's a D12 gunshot, it would be.
Oh crap! I needed that.
I needed that liver.
Yeah.
But let's
As it is, I've got 2 kidneys. It'll be fine.
but let's put some dice down to try to deal with that. And you're going to get a free D10 for medical.
Solo, a D10 for medical, and I'm going to do love for love of myself not wanting to die.
Okay.
I buy that.
Let's go. Oh,
No.
Whoa.
that's a terrible roll. I have 7 on the dice with a D10 effect.
Okay.
Why are we
in a
so bad
hospital.
at healing ourselves?
Right?
So they're gonna patch you up, stop the bleeding and whatnot. But ow, that hurts. So you're gonna keep that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'm gonna be cranky a little bit, but
right. But it'll be...
So you're being kept at the hospital for observation after the surgery,
Okay.
and I'm going to wait until they've left to, like, have you sleep it off or whatever, and I'm going to come up and sneak into your room.
Okay.
Through the window. And lick your wounds to use my, wolf saliva is disinfectant and also healing.
Oh, that's lovely.
Part of the pack.
Yes.
Get used to it.
I'm thinking that I was probably hanging out and listening, so I collected what false information you gave.
Okay, nice.
And I'm going to go to Morgan and see if you might be able to make it so that this person is a listed student and can flesh out the details, so when they try and figure out who this kid is who got shot, there's an actual thing. I don't know if like warp reality would
That's
let you
what I was
like
thinking. Yeah.
there's always been a student here
Right.
named Billy.
Billy Hufflepuff.
Billy Ramachandran. Like, there's so many.
Okay, so let's warp some reality
Yeah,
and
let's
see
warp
if,
some reality.
if you can make
Let's
that
do that thing.
make that happen.
Okay.
And I think this is going to be hard.
I figured.
Because it's that vile technological
Yes,
I can't use a stupid
silicon
blinking box.
electricities.
magic and
Does-
technology.
Do any of us know about your ex-servant man?
Oh yeah, about
Your
your
manservant
Probably
alliance,
not.
your Smythe.
Yeah. Because he actually, like, interfaces with my, like, real... Or, not my real, my faces to the world, so I probably try and keep him very separate.
normals.
He knows about all of you. You probably have maybe talked to him on the phone, but you've probably never, like, seen him.
Okay. So I have D12 for mental, D10 for solo. Because I'm trying to make something true, I've got to go with truth, which is D4. And then we're going to use warp reality, which is a D8. And then I'm going to use this to use my...
Hero die?
Actually, do I want to do that, or do I want to do...
Or do you want to...
Save it to add a die to your total?
Yeah, I might do that. That's a good call.
Can I can do an assist, right?
Yes, you
Just a
spend a plot point. And how are you assisting? You did give him information.
Yeah, I think I'm giving. Yeah,
Okay.
just giving all the good information
Add a
that I
d6
can
to your
give.
pool.
D6, sweet. I will take this D6. Don't betray me. I love you.
Ooh!
Okay. I'm liking that. That's a 16 with a D12 effect.
Sweet. Okay, you are absolutely able to do that.
Right. Now, would you let me to help the succubus out?
It's a real boy at a D12.
Oh boy.
Oh, I guess the Shroud of Fog is gone, seeing as we're no
Shroud of
longer
Fog
over
is
there.
Because that was seen.
Yeah.
Hold on to that. We're good. We're good. That's a D12. I like that. I think we're good. Okay.
So if I can make a suggestion, I
Please.
think that maybe either we insert the details that his one route that I'm thinking is maybe his parents are dead and he's there on scholarship, so there's no one really to contact him, regarding that. Or if you have your,
Well, the beautiful thing
your
about warp
person
reality is it actually changes reality to be what you wanted it to be. So that's totally fine. And the head, I'm going to go with headmistress at the school, is very well aware of Billy and
course.
Billy's situation. So
Well, how about we make him, like, from the United States, too? Because he can be that charming, roguish American.
Yes.
And then I don't have to worry about doing another accent.
And we don't have to worry about parents so much. I mean,
Yeah.
he's there on exchange. His parents are
Yeah.
a continent away.
Yeah,
Sure.
far away.
I dig it. Works for me.
Okay, good, thanks.
I dig it.
Like, I've used Irish and I've used my snobby elf. This is the one. All I've got left is Russian, and that's not going to work.
Oh.
guy in Billy. normal school child.
You're a very impressive girl.
We go to movie. All right.
In Soviet Russia, movie goes to you.
I'll take it.
Which is actually true. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Very good.
Okay. So, yes, the headmistress from the school is going to arrive very concerned and very upset. Unfortunately, you have no idea who this person is.
No. I can probably guess. I mean,
Right.
I'm blaming it
I
on the
think
drugs.
as the hero who saved Billy, I've been kind of there as watching as a hawk.
yeah.
Right.
So I think she has to get at least by me
Sure.
and tell me who she is, and then I can be like, oh,
the
headmistress!
You can do that. You can absolutely do that. I have no problem whatsoever with that. But she's going to be very concerned. Of course.
Yes.
And she's already trying to figure out how she's going to explain this to his parents in America. But then again, explaining somebody getting shot to an American, easy.
Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yes, I'm sure I'll be fine. Can I speak to that brave girl who saved me? Is she still here?
Yes, she is actually. She's been waiting
Okay.
because keep
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah. Headmistress, yeah, I think you can just... My parents will be fine. I mean, I'm okay. It's fine. I think everything's okay.
Are you quite sure?
Yeah, I'll be here. The doctors seem really nice, and they're taking good care of me. And maybe you could just, stop by again, later. That'll be fine.
Next week.
Well, they said I was going to be released tomorrow anyway, so I'll be fine. I'll be all right.
All right, dear. I'll check back in on you this evening.
Okay. Maybe not this evening, but another time would be nice.
Okay. But Allison will come in at that point.
All right.
And,
Hi.
and the headmistress is going to take a moment to admonish her to not, tire you out because, you've been shot and you have to leave.
Hi, Allison.
Hello.
I don't know if you've noticed me at school. My name's Billy.
Oh yes. I noticed you.
Yeah, I'm from LA. I
It sounds so
just
exciting in Los Angeles.
well, I've never been shot, so it's more exciting here, I guess.
Oh my god, I love you kids so much.
It was so brave of you to stand up like that.
Oh, I mean, you're amazing. You're like those awesome chicks in the comic books that like have powers and stuff. You're the coolest person I know. That's amazing. Oh yeah, you're like an angel with like light powers.
She blushes. She's because tell me a 13-year-old girl who actually wants people to take notice of her.
Mm-hmm.
Call her an angel. Say you look like people in comic books. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can like hang out sometime or something. I have some friends that I think you'd get along with. I think.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and it's really cool that you like know all these other exes too. That's awesome.
I don't actually know them.
Oh, we should get to know them. They like saved us. They're amazing. They're heroes,
Yeah.
just like you.
I'm just right outside the door. Just, giving them privacy, but
I'm underneath the bed right now.
How do I spell that?
Yeah.
I'm not. I am, however, like lately, like just kind of a weird moist breeze around her feet, my breath.
Anyway, they're gonna let me out of here. I think tomorrow, but yeah, like you should get to know these people. They're very cool, and it seems like they could use like more help because it seems like it's really dangerous for them right now.
That's why I didn't want anyone to know.
Oh, you should let everybody know. That's amazing.
there. He's in Parliament, and you know, it'd be awful.
I mean, I don't know much about Parliament, but I mean, I know about heroes and doing what's right, even if it's hard. And like, I've read the comic books where like people have to sometimes like face their family and not do what their family says to do what's right. And you seem like you could do that. Down now. Okay.
I think we're at that point.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to say it's social. I'm solo. I am doing love still because I would love for her to join our fucking cause.
Yeah.
That would be fan-fucking-tastic. And I'm going to use seduction.
Okay.
Yeah.
14.
Ooh, and D6 for your dooms.
Oh, yeah. With the D10 effect. She roll. Oh, okay.
Oh, that pause was
Yeah.
torturous.
She's been a 13-year-old girl, so she knows what the fuck to say to this kid.
She's convinced, and so she does actually want to talk to you.
Great.
You should rest. You should
Yeah.
get some sleep.
Yeah, I'll see you soon.
I'll come back to see you tomorrow.
Well, I think I'm going to be going home, but I'll see you at school probably. But,
I'll come by.
yeah, I lost my phone, but when I get a new phone, I'll give you my phone number. Is that okay?
She takes a marker out of her pocket,
Uh-huh.
or out of her purse, and writes her number on your hand.
All right.
Because, you know,
Cool.
13-year-old girls.
Yeah.
13-year-old girls.
And her Snapchat,
Yeah.
like
That's
the
what
youths
she-
have.
There's a very stew-like point
Thanks.
at the camera.
Here's my line
I'm
ID.
hip.
Dig it. Okay, so she's going to come out of the... As she walks out of the room, she's putting a marker back in her purse. Cool. She stops.
Something I would have liked to have done while she was in surgery, and if you want me to spend the plot point, I absolutely will.
What does he want?
While she was in surgery, I would have liked to have sent an anonymous video to all the news sources showing the attack and showing the world what she can do.
Okay. So you've totally outed her as an ex. Okay, now you don't have to spend a plot point.
Okay.
Because her dad now looks like a fucking hypocrite.
If
He
he
can't
votes
vote.
that way.
Yeah, if he votes that way, he looks like a dick.
Anti-family values.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel like it strengthens his case if he's for this amendment, you know, for this registration act, even if it's, you know, his own daughter. Like, he believes it's the right thing to do, not just something that doesn't hurt me. Like, doesn't affect me, so yeah, let's put this legislation in effect. But,
Yeah.
Well,
But
I
then
don't know.
there's no
But-
way for him to not have his daughter register then.
right.
So he knows that there are probably going to be like sweeps and gatherings of exes. So if his daughter now will have to register,
Especially someone with such volatile powers.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right, but isn't it better to blackmail him with that information so he votes the way that we want him to vote rather than outing his daughter so he has nothing left to lose? Because
And
if
it gets her on
he's
our side because-
right, and if he's publicly shown to have a daughter, well then everyone's going to think that his vote is self-serving if he votes against it. But if we keep that quiet as a bargaining chip, then
My only concern is I don't know if we can get to him to blackmail him before the vote at this point.
I mean, it's still like 9 in the morning or something.
if you want to spend a plot point, I will let you send it to him directly.
yeah,
Okay.
send him like a little video showing his little girl blasting a monster, no offense, out of, you know, out
I'm
of the window
used
of
to
a
it
car
by
and
now.
everything.
So if you're going to spend a plot point, you can send it straight to him. To blast it to social media
Right.
and out her, you don't have to spend a
Not
plot
anything.
point.
Right.
To send it directly to him, you spend a plot point.
It would be a shame. Yeah, it would be a shame if your little girl had to register for blah blah blah, or I don't
can't
know,
wait to
something
see her
like
at the
that.
registration line. I'll save her a seat at
Yeah.
the registration. Yeah, I'll do that. I like that. It's a little more sinister. I kind of dig that.
Okay? Cool.
A little controlling.
It seems a little villainy.
Dig it. Dig it.
Also, it keeps her on, like, feeling like she has agency there in like coming to her father or coming to you.
Right. Well, my thought was if she felt exposed, she'd be more intrigued, more interested in coming to us for protection. But does this keep her father as a viable option and keeps that relationship so we can use her to ply him, maybe get information about him from her?
And we can always release it
And
later.
you can always release it
Yeah.
later
Yeah.
to drive
I mean,
her
if
into
it
the
leaks,
arms
it leaks.
Of us.
Yeah.
True.
Because she knows his phone got lost now. So.
Yeah.
And who say it was his phone? That's true.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people
Especially since
around.
that phone isn't
There were
paid
people
for
around.
by-
There were people
Really
around.
home.
It would not shock me if there were other videos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although they probably weren't as quick on the draw.
Right.
So they might not have seen her in action, but they would definitely. There's definitely video of you guys
Yeah.
Of course.
around.
All right. So, yeah, we'll do that. So I'll send that to him
Okay.
with the tagline of being, I can't wait to see her, and the registration line, I'll save her a seat. Have fun at the vote.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk about how that goes in.
XOXO.
Oh, that's good.
So she comes out of the hospital room, putting a marker away in her purse, and she stops and she just looks up at you.
Is it going to be all right?
Seems so. Yes.
Good. You are quite astonishing, you know that. I know quite a few Homo superior people, and very few have your talents. You are quite remarkable.
Turn off the off switch.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're good.
Oh, on the...
There you go.
I apologize to everyone.
All good. To be honest, it's really quite terrifying.
I can understand. We've had quite a few of us with powers we don't comprehend, and being...
And to be fair, okay, like I said, she blasted with immense power.
Right.
Not so much in the way of control.
Oh, of course. That's where I was going.
She can be trained.
Exactly.
Not by a Jedi.
Have I told you? Have you ever heard the story of Dark Exo the Wise? There are quite a few of us in our ranks who had powers they could not control and couldn't understand, and now are using their powers to benefit our kind and to make a better world for all of us.
When you say all of us, who do you mean?
The world.
My father says that X's want to take over.
We don't take over such a... That's just a bad way of putting it. We want to make sure that the world is safe for us. And as you can see, the world isn't safe as it is now. Your friend Billy nearly died because a human could control his weapon.
She'll look back inside at the room, into the room at that.
Now, if there were those of us in control, in power, in places of authority, who could wield such power responsibly, wouldn't that be better?
Let's see if you can convince her.
Oh, we'll see.
The thing.
You got a D6, and you got Solo, that's a D10, and we've got...
Power?
I don't think I have power work this time. I'm speaking out of justice, I think.
I think
Yeah.
you're speaking out of justice.
Yeah.
I can
Absolutely.
make a...
I can make an
Case for
argument for
justice.
justice here.
And I'm not using any powers, so it's just these three.
Can I help?
You can spend a plot point. Help.
I am. I'm going to use...
Or you just spend a plot point and give him a d6.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, let's put that in the tray. Okay. So we've got a 13.
She does not.
Aww.
Oh, she does not have a 13 or does not believe me?
Oh, does not have a 13. Not even close. Good. Not even
Okay.
to the point where you get to add a D10 hero die.
Oh,
Yeah!
Um,
For you.
you really think you can help people? Everyone.
I assure you, the world in which we strive to create will help everyone.
Asterisk, who matters?
Well, it's like, it just all depends on who you think of as
People,
Yes.
right? I mean, surely
There's people and cattle.
Yes.
And
you don't have to make a decision now.
Could you... Sometimes it's hard to control.
I understand.
I think anyone who's been a teenage boy would understand.
So good.
No lies.
Yeah. I want to make her something to help her gain control, but I also don't want to make her just Cyclops.
Well, she doesn't have to be.
yeah.
It's not that she like.
Oh, so she was using, it wasn't coming out of her eyes; it was a hand thing.
Yeah, her eyes
eyes
were
just
glowing,
glowed,
but like
yeah.
she's got an energy that she can manifest. She needs
Right.
to learn control, like as an actual manifestation of
Yeah.
her own emotions.
Right.
It's going to take time. It's not something that like
It's not going to happen overnight.
And it's something we can bond over with her.
and trust and work as a team with
as a
her
Padawan.
and mold her young mind. I mean,
Help her, instruct
help
her.
her, but also help her and instruct her and make her part of the pack.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That it's like it's not a overnight fix all thing. It's just
Right.
give
Yeah.
her some kind of like meditation exercise kind of deal, like
And come see me tomorrow.
or like a mental
show you
focus
more.
that she can focus on when it's hard to control. Like here's a
Some structure.
focus to give you until like we can work on it further.
You're so good. You're so good.
It's like super out of character, but whatever.
No, it's good. I am gifted with many abilities. Instant control, however, is not one of them. However, I can give you this, and I'm going to use my power to create a crystal pendant.
Okay.
So on brand.
Oh, I can do that. We want the D8 for warp reality, and we're doing solo, which would be a D10, and we're going to do power, which is a D10.
Okay.
Power.
And again, an 11, 15.
11, 15. Okay. That is a 10 and a 6, so that is a 16 with a D10.
Sweet. Sweet. Awesome. So you create that pendant
thing.
for her.
Good. This may
and
help.
We will come back to
Yeah.
that in a
moment.
little bit.
Sure.
What's Banshee doing? I'm curious.
I think I've been observing this whole
Sure.
this whole scene with the idea of, I guess, just knowing where we're going and what is happening with all of this. Also generating some jealousy and dislike of this girl because she's taking...
Morgan helped her freely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just being very... One day.
So
Gotta
he
touch me first.
helps this little slip of a girl
Right. Who doesn't even know.
who doesn't even know.
Who doesn't even need his help.
Yeah. Who has all the privilege and all of the advantage that,
All of the physical body.
yeah, and all of the physical body, that has been denied you.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely there's a wedge going on.
And I think to put a finer point on it.
What do you want, oh my master?
No, you're already doing it. You're already doing it. You're fine. She even looks like that one girl that Jack killed that you liked.
Of course.
She reminds you of her.
All right, yeah, seething, slow rage. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Villains.
Villains! Excellent. So later in the day, in the news, a couple of things. One is there's a news story about an attack on the children of this politician that was thwarted by X's.
Yeah.
And
Hashtag for justice.
Hashtag for power.
hashtag for our justice.
Yeah.
Justice for us.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's that. And I think there's video of you carrying the wounded Billy, to the car. I think that happens. And then there's a tie-in story of the vote for the X registry was defeated by the absolute narrowest of margins.
Nice.
And the person who was a proponent expressed, who's a major proponent for this legislation, expressed severe disappointment that certain members of Parliament betrayed their cause.
Shame.
And that these kinds of things would not be forgotten in the future. And so there's that. And I think there's a shot.
Oh, can I have the?
Do it.
Like that goes on, and they say, and these sorts of things won't be forgotten in the future, and it cuts away to flips to Banshee, who goes, "No, they won't," and focuses on a picture of you.
Yes.
Sweet.
Nice.
I like it. And then there's a side story where it shows the politician, and he's on the news publicly thanking the X's who saved his daughter, who's standing right next to him, and she is wearing that crystal pendant. Okay, so I think that happened.
Sweet.
And they bring you Jell-O.
I feel like
with your dinner.
Yeah, I feel like the next day I get released.
You do.
And I go back to
They're amazed at how quickly you're
yeah.
eating.
It's amazing.
I ate your Jell-O.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't want the carbs.
I'm pretty sure it's sugar-free. Hospital and all.
That's true. Go back. We're wrapping up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get a delivery from my evil Lance with a goatee?
Yeah. He's evil Lance. He still looks like an Olympic swimmer, but he has dark hair and a goatee
Nice.
instead of being blonde.
And he doesn't wear a suit. He wears jeans with a polo shirt.
Yeah.
French tuck. Okay. Sorry, I've been watching lots of Queer Eye. It's my favorite thing.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
There's just this shot of him walking in, and I'm back as Shelley with crazy blonde hair, and he just hands me this file, and I open it, and there's a picture of Colleen, and there's 3 other files underneath it.
Yeah. There is.
Yay.
Totally
That's a lovely
I'm going
cliffhanger.
I'm going to shadow the girl.
Sure.
Just a little, in kind of a, we're here for you.
She's going to see you from time to time, but
I'm not hiding it from her.
Right. But when she sees you, she smiles a bit at that, but she doesn't call it out or anything.
Trust is a building process.
Yeah,
Real
I dig it.
trust.
I dig it. So,
Do we have just
Yeah.
as a meta question? Do we have alternate names that we introduce ourselves as? I mean, if we have a if you're kind of leading this heroic persona,
Right.
I mean, rather than Banshee, am I Wisp?
Totally.
Will o' the Wisp.
Oh my god, yeah, we absolutely
Since
need
it's
hero
also in that
names.
theme.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah, we need hero names.
Okay. I'm going to ask you guys to come up with hero names before we leave.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Okay.
that is Cortex.
Yay.
Retribution. Thank you guys so much for playing. We're going to spend a little time doing a little bit of wrap up before we go off air, because I wanted to ask you, one, how do you like the game system?
So good.
Yeah,
That was
no, this is really
fun.
good.
I love how, like, because you can figure out, like, different ways to get in and out of, like, these situations, and it affects how your die pool works. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel like there was risk and danger in what you were doing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every time those ones came up, I think we all went,
Oh.
Yeah.
We're like,
knowing, like, watching your growing doom pool and being like, oh.
and just the conditions, too. It was like, okay, yeah, we can't die, but, like, it's going to make it a hell of a lot harder for us to do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. What do you think of the characters?
Oh, great. I mean,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah, no, they're super cool. They're very fun.
Yeah.
I like the theme of like all the stuff from the UK. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, I don't know what your headcanon was for all of them working together, but I feel that, like, we sort of figured out a way of why these four people kind of hold together as a team, if you will.
What I was aiming for
Dysfunctional, but-
was
Yeah.
a very dysfunctional, they don't really want to be together, but something pulls them together. So what I tried to do was, for example, Morgan's the alpha. You don't really want him to be. It's like,
But I think that dynamic is also a little different if you play Direwolf as a female wolf instead
think so
of as
too.
a male wolf.
Yeah.
I think there's
Which is
a
interesting.
difference
It's
there.
like that. It's like I don't really understand all these people, but I think of, or like, so what my headcanon ended up being with Direwolf was like, I don't really understand all of these other exes. I don't understand how they live or like why they would want to live that way, like especially Succubus and especially Morgan. But they are my pack because they are my people. So like I will protect them and I will
Right.
fight for them.
And there's a reason why, if you look at like Direwolf's affiliations, Direwolf is best as in a team.
Yeah.
Because Direwolf thinks about the pack. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking when I did that.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Was there anything you would have seen changed or done differently
No.
about the way the game is set up or the way the system is put together? Because Cortex is not really a game system so much as it's a toolbox for building a game system.
Yeah.
All of the things that are here are things that I went into the rules and I went, I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and I want to put these things together to make the game work this way. You could just as easily make a game that's skill based,
Yeah.
or a game that and not like not have powers and things like that.
They want to have you explain how does the die effect work? Like, how does that impact?
Okay, what the die effect is all about the number of sides
Yeah.
on the die, and so I'll use gunshot as an example. When we rolled this, I got a success with my dice, and my effect die was a D10.
Right.
So you have a D10 condition.
Okay.
So it's the number of sides on the effect die that
Right.
matter. What you roll on it only matters if you get a 1, because then you can't use it as an effect die.
Got it. So, and it's kind of like, it seems like it's also a tiebreaker.
Yes.
Like if you and someone else roll
Right.
the same number.
Which happened.
Yeah, a couple times.
A couple times
Yeah.
in our game. Yes, that's absolutely true.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from the chat?
No, that seems like the big one.
And then, so, like, in general, you would say that a higher effect die is a better success, even discounting the
Right.
numbers? Or
Right, a higher effect die is a better success because you're creating a stronger condition.
Okay.
Because when you're rolling dice, you're always creating a condition of some kind. They may not always end up on the table as a scene condition or on a person as a condition. But so, for example, like when you rolled your lure on the guards, I think you got a D12
Yeah.
effect die. That made it a very strong pull for them. If you had gotten a D6 effect die, it wouldn't have been as strong a pull
Okay.
on them. And I would have just characterized it a little differently. They would have been more reluctant.
Gotcha.
So the numbers you roll basically just get you that success, and then the effect dial tells you how strong.
How good a success did
Okay,
I get?
that makes sense.
That's
Instead
really
of being
interesting. Yeah.
like yeah.
I like the fact that it just creates these conditions that then just add more dice into the game, because that puts more fluidity on what's happening in the mechanics of the game.
Cool.
I also like it's the same thing where like failure isn't necessarily like, I mean, yes, you got shot, I got dazed.
It's fine.
But it didn't mean that like we had failed.
Right.
Like in terms of
Yeah.
the narrative, like it created a really interesting dynamic between the two of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Right.
it revealed like this power from the little girl. Like the storytelling wise, like the failures here really worked super well.
Failure just brings up a new narrative element. It doesn't stop anything.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the things I like about games of this type. Powered by Games and Fate and Cortex, where things not coming up your way on the dice don't mean that things stop.
Got
It just means that things get more interesting
Right.
Yeah.
about what's happening. You
you
might
get
have
to,
to
like,
find a
throw
different
more-
way to do something.
Yeah, and you get thrown more curveballs.
Right.
Rather than just,
Oh, you
always
missed.
being able to dictate what you do.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you guys so much for playing. Hope you guys had fun.
Oh, so much
Thank
fun.
you.
Thanks
Yeah,
so much
this
for
is
having
great.
Thank you for running.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Check out happyjacks.org/schedule for all our upcoming games. And if you want to see the AP that this is tied into, every other Wednesday, it's called Gene X in Cortex Prime, and you can see the good guys try and
Throw
us
very
off.
great.
We're the goodies.
Carlos
We saved the
appearance.
child. We're the goodies.
Right.
We want the good of all Homo spiriters.
Yes,
I'm
we
just
do.
saying.
So
They're-
thank
We're
you.
just trying
They are
to
of all
create
people.
our. We're just trying to protect our people.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Today in London, tensions continue to increase between the metahumans called X's and normals. Communities fear the X's powers, citing multiple violent incidents and an underlying fear that the X's will take over society. Retribution and reprisals are on the rise, and violent clashes occur with growing frequency. This is Gene X, a Happy Jacks RPG podcast actual play in Cortex Prime.